think it's going to shoot very well.
And then I hit this.
Like I said, that thing was a Canic at one time. Everybody had to have it, or the Sig 33
Really?
P320 or whatever.
I believe
everybody had to have one back in the day.
I believe we're feeding out to the folks out there. So let us know how the audio, all that kind of stuff is coming in, since I haven't set this up here in a while. As Walter is reminding me, we haven't done the show in what I think is a couple of weeks. But...
Liar, liar, pants on fire. You're high on RV life. That's all you are.
I am on the road. I've been on the road at least a month. So, and this is continuing. Okay, it looks like I'm feeding through to everyone. And let's see that. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, let me know if the audio and everything.
I just can't look at the screen.
Yeah, just ignore the screen.
It's feeding out correctly and everything looks fine.
Ignore the screen.
I just won't look
at
myself.
Yeah. All right. Let's
I'll
see
just
here.
look away.
We are live. Let me hit the button and get everything going.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation. Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US-made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not-so-free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory.
Okay, what is going on? Lola's sending me a message. I don't know. All right, let me see what's going on here. Okay, Lola says we're freezing up, so yeah. Let me see.
So it isn't working.
Oh yeah, well.
It could be. It could be because it's hot in here. Maybe I
told you that.
Maybe I need to kick some AC and stuff like that on. Let me just.
No, it's not because it's hot in there.
It is hot. I don't have all.
Why
the
is it covering my face?
I didn't want to. Oh, I gotta take this off. Hold on a second.
You look at yeah.
There we go.
Just
there we go.
Put it in the middle, right?
There you go. It's off. It's off. It's off. All right. So, yeah, my bad. What I'll do here is I'll do the intro. Okay, let's do the jazz hands. I'll do the intro and then I'll come back. And I will see if I can get some AC and stuff like that going in here for everyone. Cool all the stuff down. Okay.
Hands, yeah.
There you go. We are live. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. This is episode 1025 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, FreeForAll Monday, Memorial Day 2024. I'm live I think I'm in Goshen, Indiana right now. And our special guest on the show tonight is Jonathan of Armslist. There you go. Armslist is a sponsor of the show.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. And of course, we've got BabyFace P. There you go. He can see us. We also have Walter. We also have Walter here, so I'm gonna leave you guys on
frame at a time.
Yeah, listen, just
I'm not.
This is how it goes sometimes when we're live. But I'm telling you guys, I promise you all, I am like parked right next to a tower, so it's not the. Lola says take off any. I have all the windows closed, so I think it's the heat in here. It's the heat.
Can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Yeah, can you do me a favor, Hank?
What?
I want you to hold Command and Space so it brings up the search window. Command Space, it'll bring up a search window.
Okay. Right.
And then type Activity Monitor.
Activity Monitor. Okay. All right.
Monitor.
Activity Monitor. I just want to see your CPU load. Hit enter and bring up Activity Monitor and let me know how much of your CPU and memory is getting used right now.
89.
Because it's I guarantee that's what's going on. I told you, your computer cannot handle this, and you need a new computer. That's your answer.
Okay, I'll get a new computer.
89 is insane.
I'll get a new computer. Just take it easy. Can't do it right now.
89 is crazy. Okay, anyway.
I can't roll over
no,
to
you
a
can't.
Best Buy.
But
if you guys want to, I'll go put on the AC and stuff like that, cool it down in here. Maybe that will help.
Not gonna be.
I could try. I could try.
It'll help the host.
Yeah.
Feeling the heat. He's feeling the heat.
Yeah. And it's also going to get more loud, which is a train out there, but I'll do that. Okay, let's do this. How about you guys talk amongst yourselves? I will mute my stuff, and I'll let you guys kick it with Jonathan here in the opening segment. You guys know how to do this. You do this all the time. So, go ahead, kick it.
Let's see what happens when it goes away. Okay. Hey, let's see here. Can we move? Do we move? Look at that. We move better now.
We're actually
Look at
a little
that.
bit better. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have to turn his video off.
Wow. Just stay away,
So
Hank.
when it's just our PCs uploading directly to the stream, it's
Totally
fine.
fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah. It's the air conditioner. That's what it is.
I'm on a laptop. I'm actually
It's never us.
curious. I forget what processor is in this.
Hank will always blame us for everything, and it is never us. He's running off of a really old, God, what are they? iMac. Is it like the old little square iMacs? And it just does not have the power it needs. It cannot handle it.
No.
I'm on a
down to-
Ryzen 7 Radeon,
Oh, you're
3.2
good.
gigahertz, and only 12 gig of RAM. So this is not my
You're
best machine by a long shot.
fine. You're compared to his, you are living in the future.
What's a laptop? I have like 32 gig on my desktop.
I have a gaming desktop that I use, and I don't know, he always blames me, but it's never us.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not the air conditioner either.
So what do we do?
So-
I guess we got to talk this. What do we do this weekend? Who wants to go first? What did everybody get up to this weekend?
I made it to the beach for a little bit. I don't know about you guys.
What part of this? You're in Florida, right?
Yeah,
What part are you in? If you're able to say.
Naples.
Okay, you're down south. Nice. So you made it to the beach.
Yeah, it's like 100 most days lately. It's rough.
It's been
bad,
insane. Yeah. We went yesterday. Today we went down to Webster Flea Market, and the car said it was 104 after when we got in. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Well, you saw me Saturday, Patrick, up there near Cedar Key, and it was hot up there. And today I went to the shop and did paperwork and a couple things there. I didn't stay outside too long because it's too much, you know. Saturday, what did I do Saturday? Saturday I went to Hooters for lunch with the wife and some other minor stuff, nothing too earth shattering. So, yeah. I went to a party in the evening.
And you're prepping for a vacation too, right?
Yeah, we leave Wednesday to go to for Normandy. Go over to Normandy.
That's gonna be so nice. God, it's gonna be nice.
Yeah. Oh, and it's freaking cool too, and physically cold. Well, 60s, 60s, stuff like that, and wet and rainy, and it's been that way over there. So it'll be a big
year.
All right, here we go. 1, 2.
It's actually, surprisingly, it's actually working okay when it's just on him.
It actually is better this time.
Yeah. Maybe it was the AC. You got to have it cool in there.
Not for long.
He's running a sweat box. We can't hear you.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Did you guys actually see that? Uh-oh.
Yeah, you stepped back into frame.
Like over your computer onto your couch.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
If you could actually see the acrobatics that I just had to do in order to get it. Oh, you did see it.
We did.
I was going to ask if you had like a second career as an acrobat.
Oh my God. This is not easy. This is not easy to do solo, I'll tell you that. And Lola was calling me for what? I don't know. Yeah. Just send me messages, Lola. Don't call. Yeah, Lola was just calling on the phone. But I think everything's feeding through. Is everyone getting
It's
better now. It's better now.
Yeah.
But it's not
Maybe it was
because you turned
overheating.
the air conditioner. I don't believe that.
I don't know.
I don't believe that. It wouldn't change that. It wouldn't change that fast. Like
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, it's
I
because
don't
it
know
was
what
at
it is.
89% CPU usage. That's what happened.
Yeah. Listen, at some point here in the near future, I'll upgrade this computer. Don't worry about it.
Upgrade.
I'll get one of the. What are we on? M3 or M4?
You don't need a Mac. Well, actually, is your software only for Mac, or can you get it on PC?
The software I use is Mac only.
Never mind.
Yeah, I don't like PCs. Anyway,
But they're cheap. They're way cheaper.
What just happened there?
So anyway, what were you guys talking about? Because I couldn't hear everything.
We're talking about
We did over
weekends.
the weekend.
What'd you do this weekend, Hank?
Me, this weekend, I edited stuff. Because I'm out here in Indiana,
from
basically on my own. I was editing stuff related to the, the Class B vans. So I got a factory tour video up, and there's another video that's coming out. So that's what I was up to this weekend. I'm just in Indiana. Right now, I'm not on the Coachman property, but I am camping out there because if you have a Coachman, you can camp out on this property that they have.
Only if it's Coachman, though?
Yeah.
The gatekeeper
Well,
property.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't want
You
other
open it.
people's property.
You open up all the ruffians. Come on.
No,
There's limited space and all that kind of stuff. I mean, everyone, so you could come.
Yeah,
You can actually come to the factory, and they'll fix your van. So, for example, some people I know have a Coachman actually, not just me, that are in this podcast right now. I don't know whether or not
Yeah.
Mine's not a Coachman.
Yeah, yours is Coachman.
What? I
Yeah.
thought mine was a different build out.
Isn't yours a Galleria?
It's a Galleria. That's Coachman?
Yeah, that's Coachman.
Oh,
yes,
I thought Galleria was the brand.
Yeah. So, the
So I
Galleria
can
is
drive up there and stay there.
yes, Galleria is the Sprinter model, and what I have is the Beyond, which is the Ford model, and then there's a Ram ProMaster model called the Nova. So yes, you can come up here. You can get stuff fixed, added. Like I saw someone was up here with a Galleria, and they put a brand new AC that's out there. So you can come up here, pay the factory, and they'll install that stuff for you while you're here. So just one of the benefits, of Coachman, and for anyone who's out there thinking about it, that's that's one of the things I love about them. So that's what I was up to. What are you guys? Let's go, Jonathan. What are you up to this weekend?
I was just telling them when you were off, I made it to the beach for a little bit, got some food, got a workout in, been pretty productive.
Yeah. So can we tell people where you're at?
Yeah, I'm in Naples.
Naples, there you go. So Jonathan, I think the last time you were on, you're in Pennsylvania. That was a long time ago, though.
Oh.
That was years ago.
It might have been that long. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been years since we had you on. So now he's a Naples playboy, basically. Jonathan.
Snowbird.
He's
Say that. I'm just like semi-retired down here.
He's hiding his hair. His hair's growing out. Let's see the hair. It's long. He's hiding it. Let's see it. Let's take a look. See that? Look. It's growing out his hair, all of that.
Mullet, the Florida mullet going.
Yeah.
Awesome. I need to get it cut into a mullet. I haven't had a haircut in like 7 months. I'm thinking about
He
going.
fits right in here. It's perfect. You need to come to North Florida. You'd fit in even better.
Yeah, panhandle.
Yeah, trust me. The last time I saw him, he was driving around this Jeep with no doors on it.
Yeah. With a mullet,
That's
it's
my
perfect.
Bronco.
Was that a Bronco? Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah. So that's what Jonathan was up to. Walter, what were you up to?
Yes, Sunday went up to the property. Patrick met me up there. I cut the grass, shot a little bit. What else did I do? Just general stuff. Check on it because I'm going to be gone for like a month, so I'm not going to be up there for a month.
Yeah.
And then Saturday just did some stuff. Went to lunch with the significant other. And just today I went to shop and did paperwork. It was a pile of paperwork to do. So
okay, so
I had
you
to
worked today on Memorial
I had
Day.
to do that. Well, I don't know if you call that work. I mean, I was sitting in the air conditioning.
I'm going to call this work. This is official.
Walter, I have learned that is the worst
let's-
part of running a small business.
Yeah,
I
let's show
hate
let's
the
show
paperwork
this guy.
side.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
show off that gun you're showing.
Okay,
Walter.
so this was the Omni hybrid, the American tactical that I bought on sale for like $300. I finally, which by the way has run flawlessly for me, even with the factory magazine. I went ahead and swapped out, and it weighed in about 6.5 pounds when I bought it.
Okay.
Put this Bear Creek Arsenal pencil thin barrel and basically chopped off a pound off
Okay.
of it. But today I decided to throw the compact entry stock from Safety Harbor Firearms on there, and yeah, and it shot at 10 more rounds. So I went up to about 220 rounds to this gun, and I haven't really done anything to it. And this thing bump fires like a motherfucker. I tell you what, I'm not a bump firing person, but I was up at the property and I thought, let me see if this thing will bump fire because the trigger's really light, and I did it and it was like, holy cow, it thing runs like a skull.
It's also a pretty lightweight gun, so I wonder if that helps.
Oh yeah, it wiggled until the handguard got too hot to hang on to. It wiggled really nice in the paws. So, but once again, I got machine guns, so I don't need to bump fire or anything. So, but just for those that are watching, because the internal trigger hammer, it's all plastic. So, it's pretty slick as far as the feel and the reset and everything else. So I don't know how long it lasts bump firing, but
do you know the weight you got on it?
What does it weigh? Trigger pull?
What does it weigh? Do you know?
The whole thing,
right
the
now,
whole gun.
Well, since I haven't weighed it since I put my stock on it. It had a car type stock on it.
Yeah.
A little bit heavier, yeah. It's a little bit ass heavy now, but
did it before compared to the what would Walt do? How's it weigh?
With the factory stock and this barrel that came in it, they're like 5 pounds 5 ounces.
It's light.
Yeah, it's light. It was lighter feeling, yeah. So, I mean, what would Walt do guns are similar to that, right around that. So,
yeah, you need to make a lightweight stock, Walter. That's what we need. Come on, make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can.
Oh, she's gonna weigh it for me right now. My significant.
Peggy's gonna weigh it. Oh, awesome!
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at that. Ask and you shall receive.
Service.
Shh, be quiet.
All right. Do you want to tell people where you're going before we go on to Patrick, or is that like a secret?
Yeah, no, it's not a secret. I'm going. Me and my significant other are on this coming Wednesday. We are taking off for first jolly old England, and then from England catching a flight over to Brussels, meeting some friends there, picking up his Diamond T World War II truck in Belgium, driving back towards Normandy, meeting up with some other Englishmen coming across on a ferry in a Jeep, and then we're camping near St. Marguerite in France for the Normandy thing. Yeah, and after Normandy, back to England for another week and a half or so, and another rally, another event. Oh wow! So it weighs in at 5 pounds 9.1 ounces.
Oh, cool!
Nice.
Awesome.
So it's still light for an AR. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's not bad.
So a total will be gone for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Over there, just having fun, meeting people, talking to people, going to events.
You're going to have withdrawal being disarmed for 3 weeks straight.
I guess I'll have to settle for a pocket knife.
Can you even have that in the UK?
Yeah, well, it never stopped me. I don't know what you can have, but yeah, it's not me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Aren't they starting to crack down even on that now?
They have rules about some of that stuff. I'm not bringing an automatic knife, that's for sure. I'm just bringing an old school, knife. But,
you can bring a wood knife. You can bring a butter knife.
I think one of those. Remember those people put those big wooden spoons in their kitchen? You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Like you have a big wooden spoon to carry along with you. Yeah. No, not to use. It's like
a couple of ball peen hammers in your check bag.
Right. Yeah. You know what you should take? Like if you want to think about what can you take to defend yourself in foreign countries, when you land there, go buy yourself a cricket bat.
Well, yeah, and a ball. You got to have a ball too, because if you're going to carry a bat in your car, you need to have a glove or a ball with it. That way, you can say, "I'm going to play some baseball." If you just have a bat, by it,
get the cricket bat. It's wider. It's good for beating the crap out of people.
I bought this. I bought this in England when I was there one of the trips. It's an Enfield Bandit, so it's around. You just got to know who to get it from.
Yeah.
Um,
Just make a shiv. Can you imagine, like, Americans getting off the plane, and then you're in your hotel room making a shiv out of
Yeah,
your
I've got a-
toothbrush?
I got a roll of tape and I'm sharpening it on the cement.
Yeah. Don't wind up like all those American tourists in what is that Caribbean place that everyone's getting locked up?
Haiti.
Is it
No,
no? Is it Turks and Caicos? Like if you have bullets, you didn't.
Oh,
you
they
didn't
had
I know, I
the
heard
couple got locked up. Yeah.
Somebody said
Why
that to
would
me
you-
one day, like, "Oh, how do you have loose bullets in your bag?" I was like, "I have loose bullets in every
Yeah.
every
Well,
bag I own
okay.
has loose ammo in it."
Is that Turks
Okay,
and
well-
Caicos? Where is that place that's happening? Someone will tell us in the chat.
I heard about it, but really, if that
Every
happens to you, that's
backpack, every laptop bag. Sometimes I find them in the laundry. I'm like, "Oops, there was some loose
I-
38
I-
and 357."
I got them all over my car. They roll out of the trunk and under the seats. If I pick up the back seats, I'm sure there are rounds just littering the back.
So
of the
every
car.
time I get on a plane, whatever I'm going on that plane with, I completely empty everything out
Thank
of it,
you.
and go through
Thank
it
you.
over and over
Thank you.
again. Come on, people.
Well,
This
Yeah,
is how
that-
Lola got. This is how Lola got her knife. What was that?
I don't
that
even want to remember that.
Yeah, you were there, Patrick.
I was so mad.
Yeah.
We
I-
put so much effort into that knife.
Yeah. So here you go. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos.
I don't.
Don't take your ammo over there.
I don't go to the range with the bag that I travel with. Period. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys-
no, everything's kept separate.
you guys can do whatever you like, but I'm not doing that. So because it's too easy to make a mistake. So
Yeah. Yeah. And
And I guess I
whatever
should
bags-
probably
Go ahead.
segregate my stuff to like stuff that stays in Florida and stuff that can travel outside.
Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms.
All right, sorry about that, Jonathan. We should have seen the countdown. So I blame Patrick for that one, for not reminding us.
Where's your sound effect?
I don't
You're
know.
on the road for 2 months.
I have no clue what happened to that thing. I don't know. So anyway, there's like a little countdown down there in the bottom that's got 19 minutes, 36 seconds. In it.
Oh, I saw that. I didn't know what it was for.
Yeah.
When
we
it gets
we
to-
don't know what it's for either.
I wasn't paying attention this time.
Yeah.
No,
All right,
but-
let me ask you guys a question. From the people
Sure.
you've interacted with in the industry,
Mhm.
is the revised ATF rule of very little concern to most people? That's the impression I get.
You know what they can do?
This
They
is
can
the-
fuck them. They can
Yeah,
fuck themselves.
which specific rule
This
are we
is the
talking
one that
about?
makes
This-
everybody in
You
NFL
have to do a
sort of
background check if you get rid of, like, if
Oh.
you buy or sell more than 2 guns
Yeah.
a year. Although they don't give a number. They left it completely open-ended.
They can. They can.
Very muddy definition.
Well, of course,
Mhm.
of course.
It's de facto. It's de facto. What
It's
do you
going to
call
get
it?
shot down in court.
Yeah, it's a de facto
It-
database.
Yeah, I think so too. It had some people nervous. I mean, we had some people that were like, "Oh, I don't want to use your site. You know, they're gonna come after me." But for the most part, people seem to be
Can
like,
I?
whatever.
You can't make any money selling your gun, right? That's what they said, right?
That's what
So,
they're trying
no,
to
wait,
say,
wait,
but
wait. Now,
that's not-
so, so what happens when you sell your house for $100,000 more than you bought it? Do you have to be a realtor to do that?
Do you have to
It's-
do
it's
that when you
insane.
sell
I mean,
your
obviously,
car?
everything they do with guns is unconstitutional.
Yeah.
From
Oh yeah,
If you
every
sell
every
some
amendment,
sneakers,
I mean,
It's
I'm
my-
kind of the opinion that instead of fighting them on this ruling, we should instead fight it from the side that says,
defund them.
okay, you want us to always do a background check and you want to make me become an FFL, game on. You can't charge me money because that would be infringing on my constitutional rights, so make all of it free.
yeah. I
Like,
see
I'll do
where,
your dumb paperwork, but I want to be a Class 3 dealer for no money.
I see where you're going. Like everyone in America becomes an FFL or Class 3, let's say. Take it to
We all
another
become
level,
Class 3.
and then
we can
guns
all
could
now
get transferred directly to us now.
We can
from
all now
everywhere.
collect dealer samples.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
No.
But
Oh,
the
no.
best thing to do is just do whatever you want to do.
I agree.
Within
Agree with
reason.
that. Yeah.
Well, I
it's
mean, I'm not saying about I'm talking about with this.
yeah.
To my gun, my personal guns are my personal guns. F you if you don't like it. Too bad. I'm going to
I
sell
think
my
ultimately
I'm going to
this
do
is
my
not going to
personal
stand.
guns with whoever I want.
Yeah, listen, I agree, but ultimately this won't stand. But there has to be pushback. But they're out there doing whatever they think they can do to throw monkey wrenches into everything.
There are people who deal in guns that aren't dealers. I mean, every day they're selling and buying, selling guns. Okay, I know where they're coming from. There's people there's drug dealers that just sell drugs every day. There's gun dealers that aren't.
They're not pharmacists.
Where
Yeah, there you go. So
here's my argument. Post Bruin, where is the historical record for having FFLs? Because I don't believe it existed back when the Constitution.
No, it didn't.
When did that even start?
1968, right?
I think it was 68 Handgun Control Act. Does that sound right?
Something like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, before that, you could mail order guns the whole 9 yards. There was no.
You just shipped it right to your house.
Right.
Man.
Serial numbers weren't even a priority.
And
like
when you look at the numbers back then of things going bad stuff like crime, there was a lot less of it back then.
I'm not going to get off on a rant here. I'm going to keep my mouth.
You can rant, Patrick. Also, we didn't ask you. Yes, rant if you want to. Plus, we didn't ask you what you did for the weekend, so go for it.
It is. We have quickly become a low trust society where people are have become shittier and shittier, and it has nothing to do with the object or nothing. It's none of that.
Well, it's
society is just falling apart.
It's a social thing. It's not a gun thing. It's a social thing. So
yeah,
it's not a knife thing. It's a social thing. People have less and less home learning. That thing. Like manners and all that. And everything is somebody else's fault. So
always somebody else's fault.
If I don't feel good, it's Hank's fault. And it's like, if I'm not rich, it's Hank's fault, or it's somebody else's fault. It's not my own fault. So it can't be my fault.
I agree. We should blame everything on Hank.
And and you can and we've had this conversation before about being judgmental. Well, I can't. It's like, yes, you can. You judge everything. You judge what you eat. You judge where you go.
Human beings are by nature judgmental.
Everything. Persons you meet, you judge them right away from the way they look.
If you don't want us to be judgmental, gouge out our eyes. Rip out our eardrums, cut off our tongues. That's the only way you're gonna make us not judgmental. That's I mean, human beings could be judgmental without even saying anything.
That is being judgmental is a safety thing. That's what judgmental is.
No, I understand.
You make decisions on the first appearances.
Right. I think what we're dealing with here, though, with like the Biden administration specifically here,
control.
They're just throwing. They're like monkeys in the zoo throwing shit at the walls, right?
Well,
they're throwing everything out there.
He's back on the banning lead ammunition too. So, if you ban lead ammunition, you ban.
Yeah.
You don't got no ammo then. Pretty much.
I think Biden believes that this is how he's going to somehow get respect or.
He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He has no clue what he's doing. That's his.
He doesn't know the difference between his dreams when he's napping and when he's awake.
Yeah. No, for sure, I would agree with that. But this is what's been going on for a while. And in the first Trump administration, I don't think Trump did enough to lock down the ATF. He had an opportunity.
Oh fuck! He did nothing. He did nothing.
No, he had a lot of horrible people around him. A lot of really bad swamp rats.
And you see, he's cozying up again to the NRA too.
Yeah, I saw he got booed really aggressively at the Libertarian Convention when he tried to use that as his, pro-gun talking point. Did you guys watch any of that? I watched the whole thing.
You did? Okay, how was
it?
He
tries all his normal talking points about the border and all this stuff, and he's getting boos on a lot of stuff. But he got a huge applause when he said he's going to keep Pocahontas and the other clowns away from crypto and Bitcoin. And then he also got huge applause when he said he was going to free Ross Ulbricht if he got into office. That was the biggest moment of the whole speech.
He was going to do what?
he's going to pardon Ross Ulbricht, the Silk Road guy.
Silk Road kid, yeah, good for him.
Okay.
They were literally
Ross Ulbricht is a very interesting story.
2/3 of the audience had Free Ross signs they were holding up.
Oh, okay.
It's a very interesting story about a guy who created Silk Road for selling drugs, which
they threw the book at him.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. The problem was he tried to get some other person killed through Silk Road, and everybody he was talking
actually
to
hire a
in the
hitman?
circle was all feds.
Oh, wow. So Silk Road
It's an
was
interesting
like
story.
a Craigslist for drugs or something?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they were using crypto, so they hit him with a bunch of like not being a licensed money transmitter stuff.
Yeah,
wire
they threw everything
fraud.
at him, and all of it stuck. Basically,
Okay.
he got like multiple life sentences. The dude's like 28 years old and just a computer nerd.
I have a feeling he knows more than he's got. They want to put somebody away like that because they know too much.
No,
think
he's
so.
40. He was
Oh, is he
28 when
40
he
now?
went to jail.
God,
So
I didn't
he-
realize he was aging that
So
quick.
he did try to hire a hitman to kill someone, right?
They gave
Yes,
him
he did.
life without the possibility of parole in 2015.
Okay.
It was mostly political. Most people think. There are street thugs that murder multiple people that don't get as much time as this kid.
Okay.
Guy.
So how do you feel about this, Jonathan? Armslist is, of course, like the Craigslist
Yeah.
of the guns world.
I mean,
so-
obviously, I think he got railroaded. Obviously, what happens if you watch any of these people that get a really horrible sentence, like look at Capone. What did they get him on?
tax evasion.
Yeah. So the financial crimes are always what get you the worst because one, they're federal, and two,
Yeah.
they can make anything in a banking and wire fraud if
Yeah.
if you're involved in anything even a little bit shady outside of it, unless your last name is Pelosi or Biden or McConnell. Or,
Yeah, I mean, what's Trump in court for in New
and
York?
it's never fraudulent, and it's always okay. The insider trading is fine. Like, they made what's her face, the cooking gardening chick, go to jail for insider trading.
That was another one that happened when I was a kid. I mean, I think I was in high school when that happened, and all of a sudden it was funny that she got prison time.
Martha Stewart.
Looking back on it now as an adult, it's like, holy shit! Somebody just gave her a tip. It clearly was not insider trading. They were just like,
It was
hey,
a random
Congress
tip.
does that every day. Congress does that
Every
shit
Oh,
every
they do
single
way
day.
worse. They make a ruling behind closed doors. They don't
Yeah.
tell anyone.
Yeah.
They go in and buy a bunch of
Yeah.
options
None of their
based on
asses are
that
going to
thing they
jail.
know is going into law before anyone
It's-
else knows.
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else is crazy looking back on it. Bill Clinton was a predator on it. Well, how old was she? 22?
He was.
Like,
he
can you
was-
imagine a 50, 60-year-old man who's the president,
He was.
forcing himself on a 20-year-old who's an intern
During
in
Me Too.
today's day and age? How that would reflect on her ability to actually consent? They'd be like, you couldn't possibly consent unless you're a Democrat, donor, and then they'd be like, no, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Don't forget that he. Do you know the movie with not Tom Hanks? What's the crazy guy that's super religious, like a religious zealot? Oh, Tom
You mean
Cruise.
Tom Cruise, the Scientologist.
Tom Cruise.
Okay. Yeah.
The
he's
movie,
Scientology.
the movie with Tom Cruise, where he was flying drugs into the country from in that
Arkansas.
little Cessna.
Or
Into Arkansas.
yeah.
The story is literally about the time that Clinton was in office in Arkansas, letting drugs come across the border. Quite literally is what nobody talks about that part of it.
American Made, was that the name of the movie?
I think so.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. But
That was a good movie if people haven't seen it. It's a good movie to watch. Yeah.
Clinton was the governor at the time, and he was letting that happen.
And
There
he's
was a
making
lot of
money
stuff
from it more than
happening.
likely.
Yes.
Yeah, was that movie part of the whole Iran Contra thing that was going on with Ollie North and
No, that was
or
earlier.
similar?
That's-
Okay.
I think that was
Iran
earlier.
Contra way.
You know what?
That's
They were
Reagan
flying
administration.
troops into Arkansas and training them at that airport or something too. But I don't remember. Was that the same time frame as Iran Contra?
And Iran Contra's during the Reagan administration.
Yeah.
I think that's when. When was Clinton governor?
90,
Arkansas?
90 Oh, during the 80s, probably.
Yeah, it was in the 80s. I think it was
79 to 81 and 83 to 92. So very well could have been.
Could have been.
Yeah, it could have been that time frame.
Yeah.
He had some kids killed. If you guys look up the
On
points
the
on the
railroad
tracks.
track,
Yep. Yep, he had some kids killed. Oh,
they
it's
saw
bizarre.
something they weren't supposed to see.
Yeah, the list for the Clintons is long, man. Come on. But
These were just some kids that were hiking on railroad tracks. They saw the drug drop, and then the local sheriff killed them.
Yeah.
Didn't Hillary just recently brag about some prison program where they had like unpaid inmates working in the governor's mansion in Arkansas?
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I didn't hear it, but I wouldn't be surprised. But you're talking about things that people do publicly, and that was a long time ago with what's her face with the dress and all that kind of stuff. And I agree with you. But just to bring it up to current events, right? I saw that footage from the hotel security cameras of P. Diddy beating the crap out of that chick that he was dating.
And then crying about it?
How the hell do you do that and you don't go to jail?
Everybody knew about it.
That story, dude. Apparently, the statute of limitations has run. They can't even try for it.
He kicked her like a football.
How did Weinstein get away with what he did for so long? It's because everybody in Hollywood knew about it.
How about Epstein?
Well, the same
Epstein,
thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
the
Diddy thing is connected to all this. That's the only look. Up till now, they haven't arrested him, even though they went to his mansion and took a bunch of shit out of there. As you know, I hate to be that conspiracy theory guy, right? But as people said, they just went there to get the evidence to make sure it didn't get out.
You know, Kanye said he was a Fed a couple years ago.
Yeah, I heard about that. But people think he left the country. He just went to Miami. He's just waiting around to see if he was going to get locked up. There's footage of him like on his phone.
Yeah, they talked to him and then they let him get on his plane and leave the country.
Yeah, they put his kids in handcuffs just long enough to get all the hard drives and everything out of there, and now nothing. So just imagine if there was footage of Trump, let's say, grabbing some chick by the hoo-ha. Can you imagine how many different prisons?
It goes one direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't expect any kind of fair. No.
That's insane. That's just insane.
Never has been.
I don't know if you guys have seen that, but she's literally leaves a hotel room. She's at the elevator.
Oh, I
he
saw
comes
it.
up.
Can you pull it up? Can you show it to the audience?
I don't want to show it.
No, it's a brutal video.
I don't want to show it, but I could describe it.
He just winds up and kicks like it's
he beats her like, I mean, dude.
You know how you fix? You know how you fix that? He needs a good ass whooping. That's what
real easy.
I
think he needs more than that. I think he needs more than that. But then here's the crazy thing: he drags her back into the hotel room.
And well, the crazy thing is, where was she after this happened?
She was still messing with him. She was still messing with him. It's 2016.
No, but I mean, where there was no go to the police or nothing, right?
I don't know what happened with that, but here's my thing that I want to say. So how come? So that's hotel security cameras. If you're the hotel and
you see that going on,
where's the cops? It doesn't matter what this guy says. Where's the cops? You just saw someone get beaten and kidnapped on the security cameras. What the hell is that hotel? Because no one should stay there. You're not safe in that hotel. Whatever anyone wants to do to you in that hotel's gonna happen to you. At least if you're Diddy, right? That's insane. I'm pretty sure that she didn't press charges. I know after she left him and she got lawyers and everything, within 24 hours he gave her $30-something million. But
well, that worked. That fixed it.
That worked out. Yeah, I get.
But yeah, that's insane to think that could happen, and the hotel security didn't do anything about it.
It's kind of like the same thing with Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
These young ladies made some makes hundreds of millions of dollars as a result of that. Where's the refund? Where's the giving the money back? Where's the I'm just saying.
So where's the people who were doing this with Weinstein in jail?
Oprah.
Where are these people getting arrested?
That picture always pops up where Oprah's bringing the girl up to him, and she's like, look, going, oh fuck, here it goes.
Yeah.
And, she was a facilitator for him.
Absolutely.
But she's worshipped like some fucking god in this country. So And
We're
she's a
we're
freak.
living in a crazy world. We're living in a crazy world. Everything it's
Well,
like all conspiracies are believable.
Holly
I
Rock
agree.
Holly Rock has always been like that. There's nothing new.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. The entertainment
Keto would.
business, always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's some old videos with kids, like the little kids, like Little Rascally, those kind of kids, and they do. I saw this movie. It's like this skit they did where they're basically acting out adult stuff the way they're saying it, and it's like, holy fuck, you can't get away with that shit now. It's like,
No, I agree with you though. It's always been going on. I mean, those male producers, like when people hear about the casting couch, they think that
That's
only
real.
yeah, but people think that only happened to women in Hollywood. That happened to men.
Diddy can tell you differently.
No,
Corey
but
Feldman
James-
says it
James-
happened to kids.
Yeah, even James Dean. That's why he had all the problems he had, because those dudes were doing all kinds of crazy shit to him. You know. Yeah, I'm serious. So, you know, yeah, it's disgusting. It's horrible, but nothing's going to be done about those people. But you know, other people are going to go to jail for doing perfectly
minor,
perfectly legal, protected by the Constitution. Didn't that black guy? There was a black guy somewhere that was like building his own gun, and they threw the book at him, right?
Yes, yeah, I saw that.
I remember that. Was it New York or New Jersey? It was a very
Something like
not
that.
freedom-friendly
Yeah, it was
state.
It was up north.
Upstate.
Yep.
Was it upstate New York or New York City?
I don't know if it was upstate, but it was north somewhere that they threw the book
so
at him. Yep.
it's a whole bunch of different news stuff. I just heard that chime. We have 33 seconds. Patrick, what did you do over the weekend?
Give me 33 seconds. I appreciate that. How about we do it when we come back?
Huh?
I'll give you my update when we come back. How about that?
Oh, okay. You're gonna. All right.
There's
So
not
now
enough time left for anybody to say
I
anything.
know.
Yeah, now
15 seconds.
We've got 15 seconds. It's just gonna hang out here. We can't leave dead space, dead air on the air. Someone's got to.
What happened to Obama's chef? Seriously.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, he got.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point.
By the way, big shout out to everyone in the chat. We're not ignoring you. I'm going to bring up some chat stuff here in a minute. I don't know where. Okay, so Jonathan was saying what happened to Obama chef. Here's what I think happened. Just picture this. The chef, wakes up in the middle of the night, to go get some cheese or something like that from the fridge. He bumps into Big Mike, sees the schlong.
Big Mike.
Accidentally winds up drowned in the pool. That's what happened.
Big Mike.
But go ahead. What do you guys? What's your guys' answers to that?
I'm not that familiar with the whole thing, to be honest with you. So I heard about it, but
yeah, he's staying at their property in where is it? The Hamptons,
Martha's Vineyard, right?
Martha's Vineyard, someplace like that. One of those, posh places, and he was swimming or
dead.
something like that. Yeah, drowned out there. But he's on their property when that happened.
Nobody's questioned it that much either. Like, no, if you don't hear that enough about it.
Okay. Of course not. Nobody's going to question Obama, the first black president. He's God. Nobody's going to question him. Look at all the shit
Share my screen. Did it work?
Did you do what?
I hit share screen to show people a Big Mike meme. Did it work?
Hank has to approve it.
Do I have to approve it?
You're risking the podcast here. Because Hank's going to hit the wrong button and turn us off.
There's a ton of.
We're not on YouTube, anyways. You can say all you want.
I could pull up some
Big
Big
Mike
Mike memes. I could pull up some Big Mike memes if you want.
You want me to just text it to you?
Yeah. Send me your
better.
Send me your Big Mike meme, and
that way you
I'll text it to you, and you can share it.
Right, yeah, and I'll throw it up here. While we're waiting for that, let me show everyone the AI generated thumbnail for tonight's podcast. Boom! Check that out. There you go. It's Memorial Day. You know, you got to remember all the folks out there that paid the price so we could do this, so we could have fun, laugh, have a good old time. In many ways, people lost their lives, gave limbs, suffered through their families. It's we could just go on and on with.
So I actually did a little bit of research on it, just so I'd better understand it before I posted on the Armslist Instagram, or sorry, your band on there, the Armslist Twitter today.
Right.
It has roots back to the Civil War, and it sort of evolved, but it was officially declared a federal holiday in 1971. And I think some people get Veterans Day, Memorial Day, sort of
it's
easy to get them mixed up, but Memorial Day specifically for people that paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Right.
And in 2000, Congress passed the National Moment of Remembrance Act, which asks Americans to pause and remember the fallen at 3 p.m. local time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's interesting to think about, just think about all the, the folks, the soldiers that went out there and, gave their lives and then didn't get to even see their kids be born or raise them, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So anyway, that was the thing we put up. Now I'm gonna just make a crazy pivot from that, or we'll get more into that if people want to talk about it. That's definitely more important than Big Mike. But I will throw up the Big Mike meme here. This is
I've seen that one. I've seen that.
Yeah.
When a woman's got bigger shoulders than the and she does, by the way. It's like, really? I mean, I don't know. My wife.
Yeah, I don't know what's truly going on there. I know that it was always weird to me during the presidency, or even after, of how people think that Michelle Obama is like the most beautiful black woman that ever graced the planet, the face of the planet.
Not even close.
No.
I
Wait,
don't
did
know
you say
where the
woman?
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember this, but everyone was like, "Oh my God, she's so gorgeous and beautiful," and I was always like, "What are these people looking at the same person I am?" But yeah. And I do remember that. Do you guys remember just a couple of months ago that what's her name got kicked off of the Daily Wire right after she was talking about Macron?
Candace?
Yeah, Candace Owens.
She's not Zionist enough for Ben.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that's the excuse, but isn't it also coincidental that she was talking about Macron, the president of France? I think he's president, right? Not prime minister of France, and his wife. That no one has any evidence
she exists.
Yeah, that she even exists.
But there was she has no birth records, but there was a man that he was friends with that now is it's all bizarre.
Yeah. Did you hear about this, Jonathan?
I don't know that I heard this one.
This is the bizarre story. I mean,
this is what we talked about it before. Let me see, Macron. I got to pull up
Bridget Macron. Is a man. You say?
Yeah. And they're claiming it's here. I'll throw this up on. I'll throw up if you search it, you'll find.
Macron wife transgender.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of rumors and all that kind of stuff. They can't find pictures. Here's the wife. Here's another not.
Also, why? How old is Emmanuel Macron?
No, I think she or it or whatever, much older than.
I was gonna say
ridiculously older. Ridiculously
he's 46,
older, like 30-something years. Yeah.
That's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just really worried about accidentally knocking someone up. Yeah. He doesn't have to worry about that.
So if you want to know what we're talking about, I remember I don't look at a lot of Candace Owens stuff, to be honest with you. I'm not like a big Candace Owens follower or anything. I don't have any problems with her, but I did look at this story. I did look at her talking about this story. Macron's wife, there's no pictures of her when she was a little girl. But there are pictures of a brother back then at that same time that mysteriously does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know, there was a whole bunch of this stuff going on, and then all of a sudden, as you said, Jonathan, she wasn't Zionist enough. For what do you think about that? Forget about the big Mike Macron thing. What do you think about the Candace Owens things? You guys have comments?
I
on
hope
that?
they debate because I think, we already had a bill that Congress, I think it went through the House,
Mm-hmm.
to make anti-Semitism a crime,
No,
which I think is
how
absolutely horrific.
so
What other speech is a crime?
what and if you say anything about folks that happen to be Jewish, you're a criminal.
Basically.
Well, that's the thing. If you question funding Israel, like
You're a
not like
criminal. You're
condemning any of our alliances with any country. If you just ask a question, hey, wait a minute,
That's considered
why are
Zionist.
we
If you
sending
say I
so
don't
much
think my
money
money
there? They're
should
like,
go
you're
to
an
Israel.
anti-Semite.
That's
Yeah.
anti-Semitism. If you say your
yeah
money should
yeah.
not be going.
Yeah,
to
but that's
fund them.
going to spread. That's going to spread. It won't stay there.
Oh, it
It'll
is.
also
That's
go if
that's
you
what's
say anything
happening
about
right now.
Ukraine or
Well,
any
yeah,
other
and that's
place.
the problem.
Yeah.
How you're just as bad if you do that kind of thing. You're just as bad as the people who put them in the ovens.
To them, yeah. If you question why we spend so much money on them.
Well, I tell you what's really messed up is if you watch this closely and you pay attention to both sides, obviously it is just a massive amount of propaganda. It's very hard to get the truth living in the Western world. There's people over there trying to get the truth, but the conditions in Palestine are horrific. There's rubble everywhere, and it's a little bit reminiscent of the stuff that those particular people complain about happening in the 1930s. Just gonna say, it's hard
Um,
to tell the difference.
Personally,
I think there's atrocities on both sides in that particular thing. That's probably going on, right? Um,
personally, I don't think either party is friends to the Western world.
No,
Just saying.
yeah.
Neither party don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I listen. I believe that everyone has the right to defend themselves, right? That's what we're up here. That's what we're up here doing. So that goes for everyone. But I think in situations like this, if we're talking about what's been going on in the Middle East since before I know I was born, I think all of us here before all of us were born.
this would be like a 1948 and forward
Yeah.
conversation for the most
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about what's going on here, and I think we were talking about this a little bit behind the scenes before we started going. In my personal opinion, I think this is why we need like the mutant gladiator league. That's how we should settle everything. People have a problem. Like you let them throw their representatives in there. Who cares if they're mutants, cyborgs, or whatever? They battle it out. Whoever wins wins. Okay, the end of the story. Let's move on. Because I don't listen. If people feel like they want to fight for something and they have a cause to fight for, it's all good. But should we be paying to fight for that cause? Should we be putting our resources, our people,
No,
and stuff like that out there to
no.
die for that cause that's not ours? And that
Well, let me
doesn't. Yeah, go ahead.
let me make a point on that. So, like, we study on a much smaller scale the use of aggression a lot in the Second Amendment space, right?
Mm-hmm.
When is it appropriate, right? Someone's trying to kill you, cause great bodily injury, or rape. Those are the three primary categories. That's when lethal force typically is permissible under the law. And then I think none of us would question the use of lethal force in those cases morally, right? Even if you were in a state that maybe didn't allow it, morally, we would have no problem with it. Tucker says this on an even smaller scale. He says, if I come home from work and two people in my home are fighting, he said, what do I do? Do I slide one a billy club and I slide one a Gatorade so they can kind of like, get hydrated? Or do I just go, cut it out? Everyone stop fighting and we'll figure it out after. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's very true in our space too. Like, if you reach a point where lethal force is a permissible, morally acceptable option, at no point would I just slide you some help, some money, another magazine or whatever, to say that there is this window that our governments, they lie to us because foreign aid is money laundering. That well, we can't physically get involved because that would be too much, but we can send money and bombs and what? That doesn't make sense. That'd be like, Hank, I roll up on you and you're in a battle with somebody. I'm like, well, I can't get involved, but I'll just slide him a Gatorade so he can rehydrate in the middle of this fight. Like,
I'd like
what?
you to smash that guy upside the
sense.
head. Thank you very much. That's pretty easy.
That's basically what we do.
And also, so I understand what you're saying. You're saying in that moment, defend yourself. But also, I think we do have leeway that we give to let's say you come home and someone did something really horrible to one of your children, right? Or your wife or something like that, and you go find that person and you take him out. We do give leeway for that. So I do understand. I mean, if you look at the situation in Israel, some horrible shit happened. And I think we could debate whether or not it was allowed to happen or they got lax, and they forgot that they need to defend themselves at all times because they're surrounded by enemies, or however you want to look at it. So I've got no problem with them going out and getting revenge, right? The thing here is that we're always in the middle, like you're saying, on both sides of this thing, messing around with it, and we're not helping to solve anything. At the end of the day, it probably needs to get solved. It's, if you really care about two people, if you have like two kids, let's say you have two boys. My boys grew up real close to each other in age and stuff like that, and they're duking it out. If they're not, if they're duking it out, first of all, when they were young and they would get into little scuffles or whatever, sometimes you got to let them just duke it out so people understand, like, don't mess with me, right? So you have to give some leeway to that and let these people go and fight and battle it out. But
I see the logic in letting two parties figure out their own dispute, but I don't see the logic in getting involved. But saying, well, I can't physically get involved, right? Like if you came home from work, Hank, and someone's physically attacking your wife, you're not going to go, well, let me hang on, honey. Let's call timeout, and I give you some Gatorade, and then you can get back in there and keep fighting.
Them out.
Like right. So to say that this
the
middle ground they sell to us does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get involved, you should be getting involved to help decimate the morally wrong party. And in a case where it's not clear which party is morally wrong, we shouldn't get involved at all.
Yeah, but we are here in this. Well, let me say not we, because we're not there.
Like if I roll up on a bum fight, I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, but America is in this. America is in this situation. Let's say we're talking about Israel. America is in this situation because it created it.
We
helped the UK in all this.
We helped move it along.
How did
the UK fucked everything?
They really
I don't
did.
think we.
And they
I don't think
never
we
get called out for it.
I don't think we just blame it on the UK.
No, but
you're saying it's just the UK decided that they're gonna put the Jewish folks back in Israel. Just the UK.
Basically, yes.
Primarily, it was mostly the UK.
They kind of came up with it on their own and said this is what's happening, and then all the Western countries went along with it.
Okay, so then if that's the case, if we could pin that solidly, let's say we could pin that solidly on the UK. England's done a lot of shit, right? So let's say we could pin that on them. Then let them deal with that shit.
But they don't. See, that's
See, the Brits were smart enough to go like they did in India.
Too bad.
Goodbye. See ya.
We're done.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
After they make a big enough mess, they just completely walk away.
Yes,
remember the Jews in Israel or that area, they were terrorists to the British.
Mm-hmm.
Were they really?
Yes, they set off bombs and everything else on the Brits. They're completely familiar with terror. And the Brits said, "We've had enough of this shit. We're out of here." Boom. See ya.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there was no love between.
At some point, we have to let people. This is what used to happen in the olden days. If I want your territory, it always reminds me. I always say to people, you don't have something if you can't defend it, right? Here's
what I know where you're going with this, and here's the problem. There's a difference between conquered territory and conquered territory that a third party then goes, listen, we conquered this and we're giving it away to somebody that we just don't want in our country. We're going to put them here. So it wasn't conquered by the current owners. It was conquered by the Brits. Mm-hmm. And then the Brits said, we don't want them in our country, stick them over there.
Well,
in the middle of a place that they weren't welcome.
The Brits told the Arabs what they wanted during the war to get their help. and the Brits told the Jews what they wanted during the war.
Yeah,
To
I
get their
think if
help.
we go back to that point, in history, the British were probably doing what the Chinese are doing today. It was mostly all around resources, right? Like what do they want from these places? What did they want from America? What was
Well, they didn't want them
the British trying to
around.
get from America?
They,
So
yeah.
They had
Whatever.
they had tons and tons of folks that had left parts of Europe, getting away from the German regime, the Nazi regime, and they were like, well, we don't want them here. We don't want to take them in as refugees. Find them a homeland so they can go on their own and do their own thing.
yeah,
So it was less. It was not exactly a hey, you guys have oil, let's go take your oil.
No,
it was like,
there's nothing in Israel. There's no.
no. It was like you guys like this land because it's historic to you, and we don't want your country.
This particular part of the world that we're talking about right here, it is the Holy Land to the three major religions of the world. So Christianity, Judaism, and Islam all at the same time, because it's where they all were birthed from, where they all came from.
Here's the part that I'm concerned about that is not discussed in school, and it's why I think Kanye and Chappelle have been getting so much traction from non-mainstream, non-state media in recent years, because they're sort of asking questions, right? Like, we know the winners write the history books, right? We know, the Allies won World War II. Okay, well, we plopped Israel in there in 1948 and told everybody deal with it. And the question I have is, it's a big world. If the tragedy is such that we're told, with the Holocaust, and we couldn't find any other safe havens in the whole world, we had to go
There were many.
plop them in the middle of the most war-torn part of the world, because that's the land they wanted.
Many options. There were many options, including
Displace
like
other
where I
people,
was born.
which has fucked over the next few generations.
Yeah.
None of the places wanted them. I'm sorry.
No,
that's rude, but nobody wanted them.
Why don't we talk about that in school? When they talk about the end of World War II, the treaty, and the nuclear bomb and everything else, they're like, well, wait a minute, we had a problem. Nobody wanted to accept these people.
I think because it's an uncomfortable,
and the Americans said, hey,
narrative.
You're going to go here, because they don't have a functioning government and they can't do much about it, and you
basically
all can just sit there and fight it out and deal with it.
Yeah, I think it's an uncomfortable narrative that you can't have without people start calling you names, right? And
10 seconds left. It's easy to put the blame on Nazis because they were killing them, but then when you look at the rest of society, nobody else wanted them, and that's a tough conversation.
Yeah. We'll take a break.
Like
we'll come right back.
With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors. So when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist.
Yeah, I think
every country that the Palestinians have tried to go to, they create problems. They immediately start causing problems. It does. That's why the Egyptians are like, no, the fuck, you're not coming in here.
Yeah, you're not coming in here.
They close their doors very aggressively in this conflict.
They get into this country and they start organizing against the country they're in.
Yeah. So listen. Here,
they have no. It's like Gaza's full of people.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think at the end of the day, there is no solution to this because the politically correct solutions we're using right now don't work. The solutions people used a long time ago to we'll just create these nations and everyone will get along and sing Kumbaya, that's not working. So ultimately we're at a point where people have to duke it out and settle it. Okay? And it sounds really cruel. It sounds messed up. But what's happening is also cruel and messed up, right?
The simple answer is, when it comes to technological advances, Palestinians ain't going to be able to eliminate the Jews in Israel. It's just not going to happen.
Well,
they are so outgunned, it's not even close.
The Israelis have made sure they have the proper thing.
Yes. Yeah, so it's not, they're not going to win. And he's sort of straight up funny. It's not going to happen.
But once again, nobody. the only reason Gaza exists is because how do you put all those people in one place? They don't produce anything. It's not like they're making factories. They work for the Israelis. That's what the Israelis use them for cheap labor. But and the birth rate of those people is out of this fucking world. I mean, they breed. I mean, you know what I say? They breed. They breed like rats. That's why there's millions.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
You know, that's the great equalizer. You know, that's
well,
it
but
actually
you have to feed all the rats, Hank. You have to feed the rats.
Well, but if you lived there, occupied by Hamas, with essentially not much access to the outside world, what else is there to do?
Yeah,
if
you're
they
not
have a
wrong.
problem with Hamas, they should kill them off. But if they
thank you.
Well, hang on.
guessing they
Let me
don't.
make one point on that. The Western world often, I hear this from people in America. They're like, "Oh, well, if Hamas is so bad, they shouldn't have elected them, you know, to let them run the country." What if someone said that to us about the Biden administration? We're gonna kill you all because you were too fucking stupid and you elected this asshole. The fuck we did.
Well,
I think everything. I think even here in America,
that's all I'm
everything
saying.
that we're talking about is going to come back
doesn't
to us at some point, right? At some point, we're going to have to like come out of our comfort zone, and if things get bad enough, yes, we will have to do that. Let me go to this so we can move on to some other stuff.
Yeah,
so let's say we're talking about what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. Does the same rules that we're talking about apply?
No.
No, why?
Well, first thing. Well, what rules are you talking about? Because I know your thing. You go straight to corruption.
No. That's not what I'm saying. In my opinion, what's happening in Ukraine and Russia is the same thing. It's something that we're controlling, manipulating. You know, we're friends with this side, friends with that side. We're funding money over here, or we're trying to. All of a sudden, we're enemies with this side, so we're doing this thing. Shouldn't we just let these people also sort their shit out?
I think so. Yes, I think we should stay completely out of that. I mean, the major difference I see between the Israel-Palestine conflict and the Ukraine-Russia is, first of all, those people are all. That's all a Soviet state. You know, and they're having a regional dispute that goes back centuries.
I can't believe you just said that. I can't believe you fucking just said that.
You don't
Walter,
think that's
so
true?
listen,
Walter,
hang on, shut up for a second, Hank.
Okay.
You're saying the Ukrainians are the same as the Russians in Moscow?
They're not saying they're the same. I'm saying that they were all part of the same country a couple decades ago.
They weren't. They didn't do that on their own. They weren't forced in. They didn't agree to become Soviet.
No, but the Soviet states have had massive amounts of
what's the
disputes
difference?
over the last 200 years.
Yeah, listen. So hold on a second here. So this is a thing that happens here. So I know like Walter's connected to this, which I understand, right? Like Walter, you're connected to it. If we were talking about Guyana, for example, and I was like, oh no, we got, let's say someone's trying to take over Guyana, which is happening right now, right? There's people threatening to where I was born, where I'm from, and people like, oh, we're going to go up in there and just take whatever we want there. And I was like, oh no, like everything that I just said, I was like, oh no, America has to go over there and sort that out. That would be me coming from a personal point of view.
I'm not saying America has to go to Ukraine.
Yeah. But do we? America doesn't have to go there. But do we have to give Ukraine a shit ton of money that we have no idea where that money is going to? Do we have to do that?
So let me just throw this at you. So the Russians go into Ukraine, and it's not going to end. The Ukrainians are not going to just throw their hands up.
Right.
The Russians can't fight their way out of a cardboard box. Okay, a paper bag. They cannot fight. They can't get over the corruption. Their corruption is so. You think?
Walter, I would agree with you on this, Walter. I think the possible outcome of this is that Ukraine winds up kicking Russia's ass, but we have no control over the amount of resources that's going into the Ukraine.
It's cheap.
Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Did we win in Afghanistan? Did we win?
Well,
they didn't win.
Did Russia win in Afghanistan? I don't think so.
This is not Afghanistan.
They're going to kill off between the Russians have the numbers, But Ukraine is
But
small enough that they're going to kill off enough breeding age males that their population is going to just perish in 50 years because they don't have enough
I
people
don't know
to
if it
replenish.
will. I mean, that happened during the Civil War. A lot of breeding age males died, and
Yes,
America still.
but they
that's
would-
were going to happen.
But they were all
The U.S.
replaced.
was massive. We had the
were-
replacements. We could do it.
They were all replaced by immigrants. Sorry.
That's true.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
let me just
They
go
were
back
all
to my
replaced.
original
I got
point.
no issues with that. Right.
Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union in the 80s during the Cold War, okay? Yeah, we defeated the Soviet Union under Reagan or whatever, we bankrupted them, but we didn't install them in enemy territory like Israel. The Western world's hands are much dirty in the Israel-Palestine conflict than this. This one we could gladly sit back and let them sort it out.
We, the West, said, "Oh, give the Russians back your nukes, and we'll take care of you." That's fact. So now, when it comes down to taking care of them, everybody's like, "Fuck, I don't want to pay for that. I can't do that."
yeah.
It's what's going on there is actually. Would you rather have? Let's put it this way: I have 2 sons. Hank's got 2 sons. Would you rather have them going to fight? It's cheaper
Fuck
to
no.
give them the. It's cheaper to give them Bradleys and tow missiles and let them fight themselves. They'll kick
So
the
you
fucking
don't
shit.
think that my children and your children are paying a price for the fact that we're just printing money out of the ether and sending
You
it
shouldn't
willy
give
nilly?
them shit.
I mean,
Do
you
you
don't think
think- do you
we're
think-
paying a price for that?
Do you
Do
know
you
who?
think they're gonna?
I'm gonna turn this on its side. Do you know who should be giving them shit? They are the
Who's that?
breadbasket of Western Europe. Western Europe should be fronting this if they are so
I
concerned.
agree with that.
Yep.
Why
Yeah.
are we fronting all of it? Fuck that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Western Europe, let Germany
Walter,
pay for
I'm
it.
not,
Let them-
I'm not
let them have
knocking
their
you.
migrant
I'm not
crisis
knocking
pay
you
for
for your personal connection to that.
So you're,
I mean,
but you're
there's-
wrong there. You're wrong there. This is
Right.
not a personal thing. Look at
Okay.
history.
Mm-hmm.
History repeats itself. Everything is cyclic in this world. Everything, including Europe.
But you just said
It'll-
that.
the
You just said
Russians like to kill
America
each
is.
other every
You
100
just said
years.
that America is responsible
You will be-
for what happened
American-
there, right? So isn't
If they-
America also
I
responsible
didn't
for what's
say America
happening in
responsible.
Israel? You said
I didn't
America
say-
made promises to them.
Right, right. Well, the West made promises. All of the West. All of the West.
Okay.
So what happens when they go into Poland? What are you going to do
Oh,
then?
the Poles.
Somebody's
gonna
got
go-
to kick their
They're
ass
going to
at some
go.
point.
They're going to go. Well, no. That
Russia-
Poland's part of NATO. No one's part of NATO.
Russia
we
won't-
have to go. We have to go.
Yes.
There's no
that
ifs,
Russia
ands,
will
or
not
buts
be
about
invading
it.
Poland.
And if there's a major war in Europe, there will be a draft here. A week into that, there'll be a draft.
So
I
how come
guarantee
there's a
you.
That
how
won't
come
go
there's
well.
a
Have you
there
seen
is
they
a
can't
there is a
even
major
fill the ranks
war.
now?
So
60%
right now
of the
there
people in
go
that
ahead.
age group can't even do 2 pull-ups.
yeah, but right
Well,
now
they'll
there
learn
is
real quick.
right
They'll
now
learn
there
real
is
quick.
a major war in Europe, and there's no drafting going on in anywhere.
There's
in
not
Europe.
where's the major war? In
Walter's talking
It's-
World War, not.
I'm talking
regional.
about Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, into Poland. When that happens, guess what happens? We're there.
We have to
It's
go,
not.
Yes.
It's not. It's not a. Well, I don't want to go because I don't want to spend a couple dollars. You know, they're going to spend the money, whether you like it or not, and they're going to hire you. They're going to start drafting people and sending kids over there to fight the Russians.
All right, let me just ask you a question here.
I'm pretty sure that's the same
Whenever
thing that
the
would happen.
politicians come
Go
to
ahead.
us and they go, hey, look, this bad thing is happening. We need to send money. We need to get involved. We need to do this. We need to do that. And I understand people want to reduce suffering maybe and get involved and help resolve these things. I get it. But why are we so tied to things that we're not really tied to? Like, where's the rest of Europe? Where's the rest of the Soviet states? Where's the rest of the world? And what about every other atrocity going on around the globe right now? Why is it just Ukraine and Israel? Those are the two we have to send them all the money we have that we don't
Because
have.
those are for whatever reason, those are the things that people have huge emotional attachments to.
That's where
No
the
one-
DC swamp rats
No
are
one gives
laundering
no
their
one
money.
gives a
I
shit
don't-
what's happening in Africa right now or what's happening in Haiti, for example, unless unless you're that
Well-
congressman that his daughter and his son-in-law got slaughtered
The
over
Clintons
there.
already
then you don't
funneled
care.
all their money through Haiti.
You
That
know,
they
Yes.
pulled up the ropes and left. They got done funneling money through there. That's why it's
Yeah.
just a complete anarchy now.
Yeah.
However it happened, America wound up organized the way the world is organized today. America wound up as the police of everywhere. And when shit goes wrong, people are like, okay, America has to come in here and deal with it.
And then they hate us for it.
Yeah.
And then they fucking hate us.
Yeah, if we have to
because
deal
we
with
don't
shit.
do a very good job.
Well, if we have to deal with shit, there should be a benefit to that, right? Like if we have to deal with there should be a benefit to it.
Do you know who gets benefit? When we go to Ukraine and say, hey, here's another $2 billion, $10 billion, $40 billion, whatever, you have to spend it with Raytheon. You have to go spend it with Lockheed Martin.
That's go right back into the military-industrial complex every time.
That's how it works. Yeah, we're going to give you the money, but you have to come spend it back here.
Yeah.
So yes, we're getting a benefit, but it's only going to like Lockheed.
And the people No, it's not, Patrick. Trust me.
And the politicians that are in the books.
Doesn't it strike you as weird that we could have a problem? Let's say we have a problem with the border. Do you guys agree with that?
Do you know how much money, how many times we could have built a fucking border wall?
Border's great.
Okay, so let's say you agree that there's a problem with the border. I don't know if Walter, do we agree there's a problem with the border?
There's been a problem with the border for 100 years.
Long time. Okay, so if there's a problem with the border, how come we can't spend this kind of money to deal with that situation? How come Congress can't get together and fix that, but they could get together and send a shit ton of money to Ukraine
they're laundering
or
money
to
through
Israel?
Those countries.
That's one. Two, the people who are coming across the border are going to become voting Democrats. Then they expect that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So then we should ask ourselves, why is it that we're in a two-party system, right? Like, we can talk about the independent,
It's a uniparty system for the most part.
Yeah, it's a uniparty system. But let's say we're going under the illusion it's a two-party system. If we're in that two-party system, I understand why Democrats are down with it. Why are Republicans down with it?
Because they're scared of their shadow.
They're in the uniparty too.
They're scared of what people are going to say about them.
What
did
you say? What did you say, Jonathan?
They're in the uniparty also. Mitch
They're
McConnell and
benefiting
Lindsey
from
Graham are as dirty as any
That's what I
DC
believe.
piece of shit you've ever met.
Yes, they're getting good money from it. They believe that they could go live somewhere and protect their families and all that, and none of this is ever going to affect them.
Listen, you need to be paying more money for climate change, but Nancy Pelosi is going to go buy her $15 million home down here in Florida on the water because it'll be flooded in 5 years, but at least she gets it.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
You know what was interesting? Did you guys see that the guy who smacked Pelosi's husband upside the head got
Where is
he got like 99 years or something like? Did you guys see that?
Really? It's amazing.
Yeah, they don't want him to ever see the light.
Now, isn't that weird?
Right.
Isn't that weird?
Well, once again,
weird.
he knows about Pelosi's husband being a homo probably, and that's why he's putting him away.
There's something weird going on there that guy got.
I mean, you got to give the Pelosi's this. They're not as savage as the Obamas. They didn't drown his ass. They just sent him to jail.
Well, or the Clintons.
I don't know what's worse. Is death worse than 99 years in a fucking hole?
It's the same thing.
Okay, 30 years. I was wrong. It's 30 years. They gave him 30 years in prison. Now, hold on a second. Because people have done worse shit than that. We were just talking about that here. And have not gotten 30 days.
That's the only person in San Francisco to get a jail sentence for doing anything
in the last 5 years.
In 10 years.
Yeah.
In the past 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Everyone else gets no cash bail. And they're like, have a nice day, sir. Please go rob the CVS again.
So that's why these people don't care who comes in over the border, what happens, and they can't fix that situation. But no matter what, they can get together and get other situations sorted out. Go ahead.
Did I read or I saw a post somewhere on the internet where Texas is actually building the wall?
Oh yeah, they're doing it themselves, but they're going to battle with the feds a lot, which hopefully will bring us to a 10th Amendment showdown, and hopefully it moves in the right direction.
Yeah, Texas is putting up they're dropping shipping containers and barbed wire and all kinds of shit. Yeah.
I understand. At least I believe I understand why the Fed is taking them to court. The problem is, and the reason I think why they're doing it is because, to me, it's equivalent to a company owns an IP that doesn't get used for 15 years, and a group of guys come along and say, I'm going to make a video game with that IP because we think it's cool. Yeah, they have to take you to court because they can't, if you let that IP go for one person, it goes for everybody. I think it's that same sort of thing where they're trying not to lose sovereignty over the border.
It's
But
not losing control. That's all it
yes,
is.
but on the flip side, they ain't doing fuck all for the rest of us. They're not taking the responsibility to take.
All four of us live in Florida. You pay the insurance rates you pay in Florida for your car because of the fucking drunken illegal aliens.
Yes.
And everybody else is riding around with
weather,
no one.
and weather, but it's mostly the first two.
It's yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of. So, for example, I'll give you guys an example. My son was like someone ran into the back of his car, and they had Georgia. They were from Georgia, right? They had Georgia plates and all that. They had no insurance. The state trooper that came there to that thing didn't do anything to them. Just let them go.
Listen.
So that's on us. That's the reason why everything's freaking expensive.
You go back to prison. We send you to jail until you work enough time to pay for the car.
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah, kind of. And if they found to be illegal, you immediately get deported, all of them.
Straight back to your home country.
Round the whole family up and send them.
Yeah,
How
Georgia,
do we know where they came from?
Yeah, Florida needs to get its act together.
Somewhere close.
If that's happening in Florida, that there's people who don't have insurance, but because they're not from Florida, they can't do anything about it. Yeah, we should start doing something about it because the people in Florida are paying for that.
And the car gets impounded first thing.
Yeah.
That thing. And they got to
All right,
walk
let me
home.
bring this around for the viewers
I know, it's gonna
who are
go
staying
down.
with us through all this.
Right.
If you saw any of the footage in Ukraine, there's actually somebody that dunked on George Takei. It was phenomenal because he was like,
really?
wow, all those guns in the hands of Americans could
Guns,
really be
yeah.
useful in Ukraine these days. And I think some
like,
responders
okay,
were
you're
like,
halfway
so now
there.
you finally understand the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
And they left off like, you dumb piece of shit, which I probably would have said. But so first of all, there's that. They were practicing with cardboard ARs, like going around corners and stuff and doing CQB. It was laughable if it wasn't so pathetic. And then in our country, obviously, we're letting in God knows who. We don't know. Only God knows who's coming across that border. And basically, stay strapped or get clapped. A good thing we have the Second Amendment. Florida has constitutional carry. I stopped in a gun store last time I was in California just to kind of get the lay of the land and talk to the guys. And I have to tell you, I appreciate that they keep doing their best to hold the line and push back, because they have a really oppressive government that's horrible. But you can feel the sense of how their spirit is beat down, Because I asked them, I'm like, hey, I'm out of state. I have out-of-state ID. Can I buy anything in your store? Ammo? They're like, no. They're like, you can buy accessories. I don't remember if they said I could buy non-lethal like mace or not. But I definitely couldn't buy even ammo. I couldn't buy, with an out-of-state ID. And I told them, I said, wow. I said, that's crazy. I carry a gun with no serial number and no permit in Florida, and it's completely legal. And they literally cringed a little. They're like, oh, don't say that, the black helicopters will come. And they're kind of joking, but they're kind of not. It makes them very nervous to say that stuff out loud.
We're gonna take a break. We're coming right back. All
right.
They've been neutered.
They have.
Actually, no, we didn't take a break. What am I talking about? Yeah, we did.
We're back again.
Yeah.
You better sell that spot. You got to get your ad sales going.
Yeah, you know what? That was for. Yeah, I got to do that. But listen, okay. Speaking of which, I know that Jonathan shared the link to this.
Hey,
on
I'll give you.
Armslist.
Hold on. Where is it? Where is it?
Go ahead, find it. I'm gonna throw this up, Jonathan.
We'll give an ad spot.
Here.
I don't know what the ad spots cost, but here.
All right, so we have a special that we just put up. It's $124.99, free shipping for is it 2,000? Yes, 2,000 rounds of 22 LR. If you go to armslist.com, it's in the header message right now. So any page on armslist.com, you'll be able to find that link that'll send you the 2,000 rounds of 22 LR, and then I'll let the other guys do their plugs.
Yeah. Wow. Oh no, that's awesome. So you guys, there is a link. There is a link up to that in the chat right now that you guys can find, or just go to Armslist and check it out. Armslist does sponsor us, which we appreciate, And then I also put up in the top of this, if you scroll all the way back up to the top, you can get the first month membership at Armslist for 99 cents on a premium personal account, and it's $6.99 per month after that. So go.
What code did we give you for that? Was it Hank or Hank Strange?
It's Code Strange.
Code
hold on.
Strange.
Oh, yeah, Code Strange. Yeah, promo code Strange. That's what you use for that. So go check it out. Go check out the ammo deal. I know that, Memorial Day, lots of people looking for lots of deals. And also, as I said, I am going to let BabyFace, I'll throw up your card again. There you go, BabyFace. If you're looking
I got
for
business cards.
Yes, if you're looking for a gunsmith, Jonathan, if you need a gunsmith.
There's what is that, 352? It's just a little blurry because of Hank's.
Hanksville, yeah, Hank is here. How about
Just
I'll
read it.
text Hank a picture.
Just
no, I'll
say
text
whatever it is.
Well, yeah, put a link in the chat.
Yeah.
Get you a Sharpie and make a sign.
No, I got business cards now. If Hank didn't have such crappy internet,
Yeah,
it's a
Chrome-
352 number. Hank will post it up. Oh, here's my phone. I'll text it to Hank so he can show it.
Just text it to me and I'll throw it up.
But no, I got business cards. It's a big deal. It's kind of
Congratulations.
cool.
Yeah, if you're looking for a gunsmith, BabyFace is a good
Canadian.
gunsmith out there. Not a lot of gunsmiths are a dying breed. We don't even talk about that much.
Well,
Okay.
that's it. The problem with the gunsmith thing is it's time. Somebody, for example, somebody brings you this 1917 Army,
Mm-hmm.
and they give it to you, and it's like, I put this back together from looking at some stuff on the interweb, but that doesn't mean it's going to work. It might need to be adjusted inside. It might need to be, but that takes time. So what do you
Nice.
charge them? What do you charge somebody? I mean, if it takes 10 hours to fix a gun, and homeboy brings it in and he's expecting give you $50, that's
No,
I
that's
will-
not how it works in the current.
I will give you a
yeah.
good example of I tried talking somebody out of fixing a gun, and he said no, it's a family heirloom. Somebody
you
brought
just-
in, and I did it. He paid for it, and I did it. Somebody brought in a Harrington and Richardson partner, basically break action single shot shotgun. You can buy those used for like $80. You look on like some websites, you can get them for cheap. They're not expensive. Nobody really wants them.
But he had it. Was his grandpa's or something?
Grandpa's shotgun, and I want the stock, the foregrip to be tightened up and put back on. Well, the foregrip was broken to shit, so I had to glue it all back together and find a new piece.
Yeah.
We came out with like 200 or 180 or $200 after all the work. And I told him at the beginning, I was like, dude, you can buy a brand new shotgun or one from the same vintage for like $80. He's like,
Yeah,
nope,
but that's not the
Grandpa's
one that
bad.
belonged to his grandpa. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly,
right.
so.
As long as everybody's on the same page, that'll work.
When things come in like that, I always try to make sure people are on the page. I give them a fair quote.
So this is like the conversation. You remember I was sending you guys over, I think in the last couple of days, I sent you guys a text about a Norinco. So the guy who that Norinco belongs to, he bought it from someone for $400 back in the 90s.
Yeah.
That guy
That's a
bought it in the 70s for $175.
What
wasn't
model,
expensive.
Norinco?
Yeah,
Norinco Hunter.
I think
Hunter.
it was a Sporter. Was it a Hunter or a Sporter?
It's called the Hunter.
Hunter. Okay.
It's the most sporterized AK that China ever made.
So is this good or bad, Walt? Is it good?
It's great. No, Norincos are
Well-
great AKs.
Okay.
like I said in those texts, people buy those to turn them into Galils.
Okay.
Kind of like a Galil looking gun.
Mm-hmm.
The Norinco 1911s are pretty. They're made of very good steel. Very good steel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. All the Chinese guns. I'll take any Chinese gun. They all work. They all run.
So does that? What do you
newer
think is
stuff
the
can be hit
value
or
of
miss.
that? What would be the value of that?
Norinco is
Hunter?
a known quantity. It's a known value. The new stuff like those shotguns that are coming in, some are good, some are not. So,
But
Okay.
but that particular gun probably now. I think I tried to buy one and it went for like $600-700.
dude,
Oh, really?
Mac 90s
Okay.
are going almost $1,000-1,200.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy stuff.
I mean,
That's crazy.
I'm looking at one here. Now it's Massachusetts, so it could be price inflation. They're asking. It's at a dealer. They're asking for $1,800 there.
Because free
Free band,
yeah.
yep,
pretty
because it has to
steep.
be free band.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, yeah, so you get $1,000 for a pre-band AR receiver up there.
It's insane.
I know.
That's
I don't know why
insane.
people are so hardcore for the pre-band stuff. But,
Well,
Yeah.
you have to have it in Massachusetts to have one.
oh, they
trying
can
to-
only have pre-band.
This is
They can
the
only have
this
free
is-
band by
This
law.
is the Norinco
That
I was
that
talking
makes
about
sense.
right there for anyone who
So-
wants to know. So you're
Yeah, I
saying,
mean-
Walter, that's not $1,000 or more?
I wouldn't pay $1,000. I wouldn't pay $1,000 for it, but
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, for $1,000 or a little bit more, you can get a real AK now.
What would
I
you
sell
pay
mine
for
for
a
just over
Norinco
that.
1911 still in the plastic?
That's pretty cool.
In the box, in the original box.
Still in the plastic in the original box. I'll put it in the chat so everybody can look at it.
Those were originally like $199, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Oh yeah, they were so cheap.
What is that?
And
we can show off some plastic wrapped gun.
Probably $600-700.
All right, he's asking $1,000, so he may be flexible. Who knows?
Yeah.
So
I
here,
mean,
I got myself a plastic wrapped gun. My camera sucks, but this is straight out of 1990. I don't know, 92, 93.
Let me see if I can find pictures.
Firestar, right?
It is a M43 Fire. Jesus Christ, the quality of this video.
Okay, I will put up. Here's a picture.
It looked so good earlier.
Yeah, M43 Firestar. It is quite literally brand new in the bag. I bought it off a friend of mine who got it from one of those. He was doing some work on some older lady's house, and she said, "Hey, I'll help offset the cost of the work. I have these guns my husband had. I don't want them in the house anymore. How about I just give them to you?" Okay.
How about it?
Yeah.
How about it?
So he got that one, and then
I'm looking at the feed the people are getting. I don't think the feed the folks are getting. Okay, it's not. Okay.
I'm looking on I have my laptop running next to this, and it looks about the same. Yeah.
We got one more that is not completely new in box. This one did get shot. This is a model 30M, Star 30M, which I've never actually seen before. And this one is not staying in my collection. This is going off to somebody else's collection very soon. Very neat. Very
is that
heavy.
Somebody me? Is that the gift that you bought for me?
No, this is no, this is Walter's. This is his.
Okay.
Very neat little pistol. Walter is saying that these competed against the Beretta for the handgun trial back in the.
So
80s,
I don't
70s.
understand how you bought this. Bought a gift for Walter, but I mean, come on, where's my gift?
I paid for it. It wasn't a gift.
Yes. Very nice gun though, Walter. I'm excited to shoot both these because I think these, with their weight, are going to be extremely pleasant to shoot.
Oh yeah, the Stars are good guns. All the Star guns are decent guns. So.
Yeah. By the way, the allergies here in Indiana are exceptionally bad. Do you guys have that cotton stuff floating around in Florida? I don't think so.
There's no pollen now here. It's all
Yeah,
past.
It's a little too hot for pollen right now.
So here there's this thing they're
Humidity
calling
kinda
cottonwood.
killed it.
Yeah, they're calling it like cottonwood.
Oh yeah, we don't have that.
floating around.
That's not
Oh,
a
my
Florida
God.
thing. Hank.
Yeah, so I'm looking out the window and it looks like
And
almost
there's
like
a haze.
Yeah, it's like snow almost drifting around.
Have you seen people light it on fire?
What?
No,
It's
really.
cottonwood is that cottonwood fiber is extremely flammable.
Oh.
So people will get up in the morning and it will be covering their whole yard. They'll
Uh-huh.
just toss a match at it and it will burn like a sheet across their grass all the way from one end to the other. It's really neat.
Wow.
That's a
But
good
yeah,
way
it
to
also
burn your
makes
house
sure
down.
it doesn't suck.
Yeah, good way to burn your house down.
That's a good way to.
we have other problems in Florida, like snakes and gators and mosquitoes.
Right. Well,
boa constrictors.
I think Florida has the benefit. Even there's some of it floating around in here. I think Florida has the benefit of high humidity, so the humidity gets into everything and makes it hit the ground instead of floating around.
Right now it's hot as all get out, but the humidity is not that bad right at the moment. I mean,
It's just hot. It's just brutal.
it's just hot. Yeah, because we got high pressure over us right now. So it's.
Oh.
I mean, the reason I know that because you spill water outside, or normal time during the summertime when it's real humid, it takes a while for it to evaporate. Now you put the water outside on the thing, and it's freaking gone in a second. I mean,
It is brutally hot and dry right now.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of chilly here. Let me see if I can pull up the weather. I would rather be in Florida. I miss Lola and the kids and all that kind of stuff. But so here's my weather right now in Goshen. 64.
oh, that's nice. Can I have it?
You got in the car
You can
today.
crack the window and sleep like a baby. Are you sleeping in the van?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
You sleep like heaven.
Yeah.
We got in the car today from we went down to Webster. We were in Webster, and we got in the car and it said at one point that it was 104 sitting in the sun. It was unbelievably hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you know what? I'll take the heat. I'll take the heat to spend Memorial Day with Lola and the kids. You know?
I'm heading to Europe, and it's been averaging 55, 60, 65 when the sun's
Yeah.
out, and it's
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's
Oh,
been raining a shitload over there too. So
in this whole month that I have not been home, I saw Lola for a weekend. Didn't even get a chance. I barely hugged Lola in that time. Because Lola flew out to, where did I
you're
pick
making
her up?
money.
Colorado. She flew out to Colorado. I picked her up. We went to Flagstaff for the Overland show. And then I had to drop her in Albuquerque on Sunday. So, yeah.
did you at the Overland? Did you run in the mix flip?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Good.
I saw him out there, yeah. I don't know if I'm in anything he did out there. And,
I didn't. I haven't.
Mix flip moves around really fast, but I ran into him several times. And then he had his whole crew with him. And there was a point, because he wears this like weird kind of hat. And there was a point I mistook one of his crew for him. Which the guy, he was like, that's kind of racist, Hank. But yeah, I did run into him. It was cool seeing.
Okay.
Yeah,
When you
because
say
I
his
thought
crew-
it was mix flip. I saw this Asian dude with this hat on.
So they all look the same.
Yeah,
that
so
kind
I
of
try
thing?
to. Yeah, I didn't say that.
Well, come
But
on.
yes,
We're amongst friends here,
right. Anyway, it was cool. We saw mix flip a lot out there. He was. I think that's the first time he went to the Flagstaff one, but it was cool running into him.
Oh, okay.
and
That's where I thought
everyone
you
else.
were at.
Yeah, everyone else in his posse. Okay, so Lola has this question for Jonathan. She says, ask Jonathan to explain how Armslist is different from what people may remember or think about Armslist. That's a good question.
So it's actually
it is.
been almost 4 years now since we switched and we went to make it membership paywall. So it does a couple of things. We're keeping some of the people you might not want to deal with off because they're turned off by the paywall. But also we're able to offer products at below map pricing since we're behind a paywall. So there's definitely benefits to it, but you do need to be a member to come in and participate in the community at this point.
Yeah.
And we have right around 1,000 gun stores that are in there, and you can buy from them
Okay.
even if you're not a member. So really, the membership is for the private party stuff. You can't list or send a message if you want to do private stuff unless you are a member. But for right around 1,000 gun stores that have their inventory listed, you can still browse. You can see their pricing. You can go into their stores and buy stuff from them.
Okay.
So that's what's different. While we're on it, I did want to plug one other thing that's newer for us. I texted it to you, Hank.
Okay.
We created this product called We Buy Any Gun. So for people that just want to get cash quickly, if you're a member and you're signed in, you fill it out, you upload a picture of your gun, just say what make model it is, the round count roughly, and it'll send that request to all the gun stores, FFLs near you that are members, and hopefully they'll send you back an offer pretty quickly. And if you like it, you
That's
can just go to
clever.
that gun store, get the money, and be on your way.
That's
Oh,
very
that's cool.
clever. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
we
good
thought it'd
idea.
be good because if you're paying us as a gun store, that's lead gen for you, and it's really much simpler for a lot of people that just don't want to, go through the negotiation and meeting somebody, and I think at this point, most of us, we don't want to be compelled to do a background check by the government because the government is inept and often corrupt, and you know, but pragmatically speaking, a lot of us would prefer to just go to a gun store with people that we know or have dealt with before, and let them do it, and then we know that our hands are clean for whatever may happen with that gun after that.
A,
Yeah.
a
Go
lot
ahead,
of a
Will.
lot of people I find that when they ask you, "Hey, do you buy guns?" They don't know where to go. They don't know what it's worth. They don't know. They're kind of skittish and scared. It's like, is that legal? Is that illegal? Do I have to have a registration to do? It's like, oh yeah. I mean, you're in Florida. You don't have to have your registration and
No, guns
all
aren't
that stuff.
registered here.
Florida's a very free state, and the reason we like that solution is it doesn't matter what state you live in. If you walk into a gun store and they've made you an offer that you've both agreed to, you slide it to them, sign whatever they ask you to sign, take your money, and be on your way.
Yeah.
Right.
Now
right.
there may be some things that may not be necessarily that simple. Like in Florida, you got to go through the whole kind of the rules that apply to pawn shops and stuff like that, right? If you sell anything, you have to do that. If you have
No,
to do that,
they can take it off your hands
Okay.
immediately.
Okay, yeah, but
I
you do
know.
have to fill out some paperwork and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you have to
Yeah.
fill some stuff out because they got to make sure it's not stolen,
Yeah.
or whatever. They
Yeah.
they have some
Never,
duties.
that's interesting. I've never thought about that. I don't know what it takes for me to take in used guns. I have to look into that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not stolen, it just
Yeah. So in
exchanges funds
Florida,
and goes in your
I
books,
think
and
you
it's
have to
from that
keep it
person.
for a minimum amount of time until the state or
Clears
fed,
it.
who, depending on your state laws,
So
determine that
you
it
just
it
can't
is
turn around and flip
not
it
stolen.
immediately, is what it is.
Yeah. I don't think you can do it immediately if you're taking a used gun. I don't know the rules though. I'm not an FFL. You'd have to read the fine print
Yeah.
wherever you live.
It's not something I've ever looked into because it's not something I do. But I guess I probably should read up on it.
yeah, and
I
I
I mean,
think
it's not a bad side hustle because in this economy, people tend to need cash.
yeah. Go ahead, Walt.
Where do you think
I
these
think-
2-star pistols came from?
I think there's a I think Florida has a you can call and run a number. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they used to. I believe.
Yeah.
See
I
if
mean,
it's stolen or not.
So here in Florida, even if let's say you go to Best Buy and something you bought from Best Buy you're selling back to them, they'll do that same thing. That's
They have to pawn it.
So and the same thing a pawn shop would do if you're taking something to a pawn shop. They do some paperwork on it just so that if that thing winds up stolen or something, they know where it came from, etc. But
Yeah, they
yes,
can track
it is still very easy, relatively easy to do. I would ask everyone out there to support Armslist. If not for any other reason, then they support us, and they have here. They've supported the podcast for years. Jonathan and I have been friends, I think, probably for this whole time that I've been in the gun world, right?
It's funny you mentioned. I was trying to think of when I first met you. Was it that event in Tennessee with the Century Arms stuff?
I think so. I think we met through one of like Jaeger's events or something like that years ago.
And what year was
Yeah.
that? That was
I don't
like
even know.
All right. Well,
20
I started messing with Hank and doing this stuff in 17. So
17. It was before that,
Oh,
right?
it's got to be.
Yeah.
Walter, it was only.
I started doing this in 13. So
I would go to my YouTube and pull up the video from that event and tell you, but it got totally nuked, so I can't.
yeah, I know that sucks, man. I hate to. Sorry, forgive me for laughing. You guys are nuked on every single social media platform at this point, right?
We still have Twitter.
Okay.
We have a Rumble. We're having a little trouble getting, a lot of following going there. And I started an Armslist public Telegram group, which I think that
Telegram,
URL
yeah.
is actually in the footer of every page on Armslist. So if we
okay.
post like deals and memes, it's kind of,
And I'm in that
lighthearted.
Telegram thing too.
Yeah,
By the way,
okay, it is. I checked.
yeah.
It's in the footer of every page on Armslist.
At first,
so
I
if you
didn't
like
even
Telegram
realize.
and you want to
Yeah.
shoot the breeze on there, join us.
I didn't realize that Telegram was public, by the way, at first. I was like, oh,
I made
Jonathan.
an official one just for official announcements, and then we made the public one where people can just contribute and post whatever.
Okay, cool. All right. So, like I said, I think you guys should go and support Armslist, use it. Also, Jonathan has spent a lot of time, money, etc., fighting for the rights that we all enjoy. If you guys don't know that, we've talked about that in the past. Armslist is constantly under attack. And I don't know if you want to hit on that briefly, Jonathan.
Yeah,
We're gonna take a break, but as soon as we come back, we're gonna get to that.
The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran owned and with over 20 years experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com.
Yeah, you know what? We really do have to fill that previous spot. That was the spot that belonged to Tusk, and unfortunately, Tusk is on pause. Yeah, they're on pause right now. Unless I could
Walter,
convince
it's gotta be
Jonathan
before
to take it over.
2017.
It might have been a little bit, but first time I did a podcast stuff, I was on vacation.
Yeah, that was into
podcast, but I thought you've known Hank for longer than that.
Yeah, Walter, we met through Peter Palmer. Remember that?
You came to the shop.
Yeah, that had to be like 2014 or something. I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
It might have been. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
it's all the blur.
I think you and I we've known each other for about 8 years, Hank.
Yeah. So, what was I? There was a couple of things. Yeah.
2015 is probably when you and I met.
Yeah, a long time. Lots of time's gone by here.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
Jonathan, tell us about the extents that you guys have had to go to at Armslist.
Oh, yeah.
We've
So it's
discussed
been
it, but
an
it's good.
interesting
Yeah.
road. I mean, obviously it's frustrating and it's expensive and it's not fun, and as many people would say, even when you win, you lose. So we've
Mhm.
successfully defended a lot of nuisance lawsuits over the years. The net result is that we've solidified a lot of freedom that goes with the Second Amendment, where it sort of merges with the First Amendment and the internet. And it's sort of a meeting point. Ironically, we don't get a lot of support from the traditional gun rights groups, sometimes not any, but occasionally they like to join us on the victory lap after we win and write about it, how great it is,
Have you
after
gotten any
not actually
support from
helping.
the First Amendment side of things, ACLU or?
Oh,
And I
not
know they.
ACLU. Oh, no, no, no.
Okay,
You know how the ACLU counts to 10, right?
not sure where
One,
this is
three, four,
going.
five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. You were saying though. So you
Oh yeah.
guys
So
have
anyway,
gone all
so
the way.
we win these when we get a nuisance attack. Says, oh look, so and so used your website and did something bad. Like it's usually like 4 or 5 people down a chain of criminals. It's like it's pretty ridiculous how they do it. But we've never lost. We always win. And it's surprising. It definitely is a dicey area where people don't really want to get involved. Certainly not the old head pro gun groups, and the internet freedom and First Amendment people, I think they're a little scared of guns and the internet too. But I mean, it's the intersection of the first two amendments that are enumerated. Freedom of speech and association in the First Amendment, the freedom to keep and bear arms in the Second Amendment, and so it's pretty important. It'd be nice if more people stepped up. I think, unfortunately, that will happen perhaps if one of ours goes further than it's gone in the past because we always win in the lower courts. And the only time they ever appealed us to the Supreme Court, they denied cert, which just meant it went back to the lower court's decision, where we had won in the first place. So I would think if one of them actually went to the Supreme Court and they accepted it, then that might be something where people would have to get off the bench and get involved, whether it be ACLU or other libertarian free speech pro gun groups, etc. But fortunately, we've done the hard work, so they've not had to do that yet.
Yeah. It's crazy that I think in some cases Alex Jones has been able to come back. Not he's probably still most canceled, and then you guys are second most canceled. Trump has come back to certain platforms, but you guys are pretty much banned off of every platform that exists out there,
The
except like
three
you said.
biggest ones for sure: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, and then basically, if these guys are able to defeat you, the rest of us won't be able to do anything on the internet in regards to guns, right? We won't be able to sell anything, do any kind of
Well,
commerce or anything
that's
like that.
kind of, yeah, exactly. I mean,
When
if they ever successfully, like if we had just quit and just walked away, there would be a decision on the books already that's like, oh, guns and the internet
Hmm.
don't exist. There's no rights. We won in court, so go away. And if you don't, you'll be found liable civilly, possibly criminally. Who knows? Because they're not going to stop after one victory.
Yep, yep. What were you
And
gonna
that's
say,
really their
John?
goal, just bankrupt and move
when
on. I mean,
you
look what they're doing at Trump. It's the same playbook, just a different individual in a different realm.
when you get any sort of win like that, have y'all been able to go after court fees or anything, or any sort of repayment, or is it straight out
Well,
of pocket?
so that's a delicate thing. Typically, they very carefully pick the jurisdiction where they sue to where that is not an option.
Of
And
course, of
secondly,
course.
if you do it, you're going after some aggrieved person that suffered a tragedy. And that's why they like to do like this link of like
Okay.
6 people down the road. It's not like, it's the plaintiff is never like one of the criminals or, somebody with a lot of money or something. It's
Hmm.
always the plaintiff they find the saddest story possible.
Yeah, I think the Uvalde people right now are suing Activision or one of those video game
Yeah.
They're
companies.
suing, I
Activision and
think,
Daniel
video game
Defense.
company, the
Yeah,
police
Daniel
force,
Defense.
some
Yeah,
individuals, and I believe a gun manufacturer got named.
yeah,
Daniel Defense.
yeah. Daniel
Yeah.
Defense, which is outrageous. That I mean, all of that.
Well,
In my
here's one of the problems. They got bolstered when, who was it? Polymer 80 bowed down and gave them a couple $1 million.
Yep. Yep.
Who did
It just
Paul
bolstered.
settle with?
Oh,
um,
I don't remember.
I
who
know.
they settled
Well,
out
so I know the Freedom Group, the lawyers for the defunct Freedom Group, also settled. Remember?
You never can. You can't settle with these people.
Remington. I'm sorry. It was Remington, right, Walter? Not the whole
City of
Freedom
Baltimore,
Group.
City of Philadelphia.
That's what I'm thinking,
for
yeah.
Palmer.
Yeah.
But you cannot settle with these people because they're going to run you out of business.
You embolden them.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll just bulldoze you.
Yes, yeah, and you give them out as a cookie, they're just going to keep going and going and going and going.
Yeah, so I don't think the point I want to make here that
I don't run your company, but I'm the type of asshole that would be like, sorry, Granny, now that you lost, you owe me court fees. Fuck you. There need to be consequences.
But
there
you're not
need
going
to be fucking consequences.
Well,
the other problem is having attorneys that have balls like that, and that's a conversation for another day.
Right.
Okay. And are you going to get anything in the end?
Yeah.
There need to be consequences for frivolous lawsuits.
Well,
I agree. I agree with you, Patrick. But I think, as Jonathan is saying, remember, it's connected to someone that suffered this tragedy, and then now you get ripped. You're going to get ripped through it all over again. Yeah.
Maybe you should shut the fuck up and not come after me then. Maybe you should fuck off. I'm sorry.
Tell Patrick to get a law degree and work for you.
It's sad to live in a world where it gets complicated and you can't just 100%
I understand.
It's like that all the time.
It just frustrates me that you can't. It feels like there is no consequence for people starting.
Well, so I will say this: our side typically fights like a Boy Scout troop, and the other side kind of fights like they're in a street fight in a gang warfare in Venezuela, and we wonder why we lose so often.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
we don't play the Game of Thrones.
You're being nice. A lot of times our side's too nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Granny.
Yeah. Let me get to this.
I'm taking your house, bitch.
That goes for politicians too. I hate the politicians constantly.
Yeah.
The politicians that constantly apologize for everything.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I think the axe needs to be brought to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all those places that have denied you your First Amendment rights on there. But yeah, that's all like a whole.
Ain't never.
Well, you know what? That's something. We can do a follow-up on that, but I would like to compile all of the stories from everyone about how they've been shadow banned, delisted, demonetized, every form of censorship and just suppression you've experienced on YouTube, because I think that is a massive, massive, massive company, and I don't think there's many left in the gun space that haven't been aggrieved by them in some way at some point. That we should probably mount a massive class action lawsuit, and because if you think about the dollars, right? Like you look at people like Mr. Beast, Joe Rogan, take your pick, where they clearly were. I don't want to say all of them were given preferential treatment, but they at least were given a fair shake. And what that means for dollars on the table, popularity, growing your what we call them spin-off businesses, etc. And what the converse means when you're constantly just smashed down and given less opportunity, less money, less monetization, less search relevance, and they suppress our view counts. I mean, the list goes on. But I think we really should just compile like all the different ways Google has come down on us, because it's an enumerated right. It's not like we're talking about, Beanie Babies. And they're like, well, we don't really like Beanie Babies that much. It's not cool content. This is really akin to if they said, no, you can't talk about religion on YouTube. That's not allowed.
Basically, yeah. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, you know what? We do need that. I've asked some organizations out there about that, and they're.
Yeah. Did you get how much help did you get?
None. Everyone is, everyone's afraid of that.
The other problem is finding a jurisdiction where you could take a company like YouTube, Google,
How about
Facebook
Florida?
to court.
Didn't DeSantis put up some?
Florida would be a good if you could find a way to get them in court.
To bring it.
Yeah.
But if you even think about taking them to court in California, you're going to lose immediately.
I mean, you might
judges
go right to federal court that's based in Florida, because that'd be harder for them to get out of.
Yeah. There has to be a way to do this. I've spoken to some organizations out there, to be honest with you.
I imagine it's money. That's what stops everything.
they don't feel like fighting this battle is worth it over the other battles, but I feel like this is where we lose in the long run. Because our ability to talk about this, like right now, we're not talking about this on YouTube. This has to go up on YouTube later. So they've won over there. They've won.
They've already won, yeah.
Yeah. So, but when I talk to the people, you know, at these organizations about that, no one. I don't think they just don't want to put the resources
part
there.
Of it, part of it that frustrates me is Dims put their money where their mouth is. A lot of their uber wealthy supporters are willing to go almost bankrupt. You look at what's his name, the boogeyman of the right that I agree is a boogeyman. Fucking Cook. Soros. Soros is absolutely willing to put money anywhere he thinks he can get a win, and he has put unbelievable amounts of money into.
That's why these guys are winning in the long run, right? They're making inroads everywhere.
Well, and I think that's something we need to remind our side of is that you're fighting this, unconstitutional gun ban, carry ban, whatever in this jurisdiction on this date or this time. But if we had been successful in the last 5 years of getting people restored on YouTube, getting monetary damages, punitive damages, and showing Google you cannot suppress a enumerated right in the discussion of it. And I think we should be going for the jugular. We should be able to show people how to put an AR-15 together from scratch.
Absolutely. I agree with you, but you know what the problem is?
Because it is our God-given, constitutionally upheld right to do so.
You know what
suppressing that in any way is, first of all, just horrific and disgusting, but it should be illegal too. Yeah. So, if we were fighting all of those battles and winning even half of them, maybe you wouldn't have to fight this stupid battle over this stupid ban in some jurisdiction where it affects like 1,500 people.
Yeah, I agree with you. But look, just to bring Daniel Defense into this, I'm not trying to attack him, but I'm just going to drop facts on you. Daniel Defense was supposed to come on this podcast a long time ago. Right before they were going to come on, they said, no, we don't want to talk politics, so we're not coming on. Then Marty Daniels said some political shit that rubbed gun guys the wrong way and got into stuff over that. And now here we are, right? I think it's the same thing with other gun manufacturers out there. No one is going to worry about any of this until they're the ones who are getting deleted from YouTube.
It's on their doorstep.
Yeah, when it's them, then they'll think about it. Same thing with the organizations, with the Second Amendment organizations, including like GOA, who, I love GOA, I'm a lifetime member, all that stuff. But I've asked them about it. They're not going to fight this battle either until they're getting assaulted by it. And then they go, maybe we need to get together and do it. And that's just unfortunately how all this shit goes with people.
They like to go in and get the win against like this county government over here that doesn't have all the Soros backing and all the money and say, hey, we got the win, on these little battles. But those are never ending. We've got to win the big battles.
I think they just don't feel like they're it's this battle to save the YouTubers or the Instagrammers or Facebookers is worth it.
Well, that's the wrong way to think of it. It's not about the individuals that are being aggrieved. It's about what message is being suppressed.
Yeah, and they're going to do whatever they can get away with. Go ahead, Walt. Sorry.
The Democrats, no matter whether they believe, they all get together. When it comes to the fight, they drop all their little battles and
they drop all their smaller disagreements. Yeah.
They get together in one big thing and they tote the party line. On our side, everybody doesn't agree, so they don't get together. They got little battles that are fighting amongst each other. They're trying to get the limelight.
Yeah.
One thing. That doesn't affect me. And it doesn't have anything to do with me. Yeah. I don't want to stir that pot up. That doesn't affect me.
That I think is one of the big problems is the guys at the top of the YouTube chain right now. I can only think of two who are very high up, making lots of money off of YouTube, or at least making lots of views, who are willing to shake things up. A lot of them, nope. Yeah. They don't give a fuck.
Well, I don't want to say anything about many individuals because I think it's unproductive. I'll just point out there is a trend that like when you're running into trouble with Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, whatever, when you want to reach out to somebody that maybe is doing really well on that particular platform, they actually have a rep that responds to them and helps them get past, the demonetization and all the other problems. Mm-hmm. I've run into them being hesitant to want to help you because it could drag them down and get them banned. And I don't want to say that makes them a bad person or whatever. I just
it's their
wish
No, I
income.
mean you
we
have to
could be
remember.
unified.
Yeah,
Like I wish we could have a unified front and take the full fight to them
yeah,
instead of kind of, people sort of pulling
yeah.
punches and trying to just,
I agree with you. We do have
eke
to remember
by
that some
and
of these.
kind of stay under the radar as long as
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah, some of these people have a whole bunch of people that are riding on it behind them, like where maybe with us it's just us. But yes, we do have to do that. I think the reason why I brought it up in the case of Armslist, the fact that you're banned off of all of these places, you can't even mention Armslist on places or whatever without getting.
If you can't send a
banned.
DM with an Armslist link on Facebook or
Yeah.
Instagram, it literally will not go through.
And everyone's
the
just
level of the ban is intense.
everyone is just like pretending, oh, that's no big deal. It's just Armslist. Who gives a shit? Yeah. Well, one day it's gonna come. It's gonna come to you, and then that day, it may be too late when you decide you want to fight. So sometimes you have to fight these battles, even though you know it's gonna be painful. It would be easy. Look, it would be really easy for me and more financially beneficial for me if I drop all the gun shit.
Oh,
and just go do something else. But I'm doing it because I really believe in it, and even if I get in trouble for it at the end of the day, to me it's worth it, right? It's not just like about the money or anything like that. I need to, as a human being, I need to know that I stood up for something and I was willing to take a chance, take a risk on something.
You know who else says something kind of similar, like Cap Timpf, that is often on Gutfeld's show at night, and Gutfeld himself, they kind of mention, like, I stick to my politics because, I care about it. Then they joke that, like, they wish they could cash in on it more. But it's not as profitable to be right-leaning libertarian.
Oh, I mean, it's really bad for me. A lot of people, I've run into people who think that I'm not even doing gun shit anymore. And we all are always buying guns, doing gun projects.
They're still doing it, they're just not seeing it because it's so shadow banned.
Yeah. Every now and then we eke through, right? Like Walter just eked through. I
did that short, yeah.
Yeah, Patrick has eked through, but it's not
rare
all the
though.
time.
And the frustrating thing is, it's rare for us, but the proof is in the pudding that people want to take on, want to see that content so desperately.
Oh yeah.
And not just Americans, all across the world, they love watching gun content. YouTube won't show it.
It's crazy. Like, I was in Arizona at that Overland thing, and there were people running into me, not because of vans, because of gun stuff. And they were like, "What's up, man? Are you still doing the gun thing?" But they recognize me from the gun thing, and they're like, "What's going on with that?"
Well, I mean, you've put enough content out there, just a number of episodes, that they're probably going to come across some of it, even though Google has just suppressed the distribution so aggressive.
Yeah. To me, it's worth it. But I think that, to be honest with you, in the minute that we have left, I'm waiting for the burn down, because I don't think everyone's going to get together and kumbaya until everybody gets
I don't think so
royally in the Patukas. Yeah.
No.
So
I
don't want that. I don't want that, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. Regardless of who wins the election, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna make the revenge vote just like everybody else, but I don't think it's gonna matter for us as gun guys, which is unfortunate. This stuff is still gonna keep coming at us, and we have to at some point get together and do this, because we can move the needle. There's enough gun people out there, or folks who believe in the Second Amendment, and people who want to see this content, that we could move the needle somewhere else, but we all have to get together and do it. Hey, Rumble's cool, but it's mostly for talking about politics and things like that versus the gun stuff right now. So
yeah, but people are looking at the stuff over there.
Yeah, I think there's a break coming up here. Let's do that, and we'll be right back.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com.
Yeah. So a couple of things here before we wrap this up. Someone, especially since this is the Safety Harbor thing, Walt. Someone was trying
Yes.
to ask you about 50s getting banned. Did you see that?
About
And
a
I don't know who asked it at this point because it's been.
Yeah, about a bill that was introduced someplace, which
Yeah.
is that's kind of like the normal thing they do all the time. They introduce someplace there's a bill to ban 50 cals. It happens every year. It seems like somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. Uh, I'm not exactly sure where it's at, but I'm.
Yeah, I would say this
Yeah.
is the wrong time to give up on 50s. I could tell you guys that in the robot zombie apocalypse that's going to be upon us, you're gonna appreciate a 50.
Yeah, some APIT will put a hurting on that robot. That's what
Right. So, yeah, there's always stuff like that out there that we have to deal with. Let me see. So yeah, we are going to wrap up because we are at the 9 o'clock hour. I'm probably going to be back in Florida by Monday. I got a whole bunch of stuff I have to do. I just have to take a meeting tomorrow. That's why I'm still here, and we'll get back to this. Yeah, I can't actually. I apologize to everyone for not getting more questions and comments from the folks in the chat. I saw the chat was actually pretty active, and I think this just goes to show that we're on Player, which is a little bit obscure, and we have an audience here. Imagine if everyone picked something like this, and was hanging out over there. We would move the needle, and it's really important to do that. Look, I'm on Player, but if you guys want to, if everyone gets together in a council and decides we're going to do Rumble or whatever, we can make whatever happen. But I don't know. We're not going to get together until things get bad. I'm going to start with Jonathan in terms of wrapping up. Was there anything before we get out of here you want to talk to the folks about or remind them?
The only thing I say is check out armslist.com. We'd love to have you as a member. And if you're running an FFL based business, we'd love to have you guys too. Check out armslist.com. But we have that deal on 22LR, 2,000 rounds for $125, free shipping.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Also, you know what? We should run some kind of thing where we give away some membership sometime, man. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
But,
Well, we do giveaways all the time. The only thing with the membership is like I have to get the tech people to do the free. Although I could just give you a coupon code that makes it free, which I can already do. So
yeah,
we can make it work.
We'll work out something so we can get more
Yeah.
people involved with Armslist. We really want to do that, especially because we want Armslist to stay alive out there, so they can keep supporting us. Kind of selfish. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right, Walter? Yeah.
Would you rather me go away? I support you too. Would you rather me go
Yeah,
away?
exactly. I mean, that's why I waited until look, Safety Harbor right there.
I see that. Yes.
Right there. Make sure you send
Quintessential.
me that check, Walter.
Stent parts too, by the way.
Yes,
Checks in
absolutely.
the mail.
Yes, that part. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate both. I don't know if people realize this, that the companies who you guys are seeing here that are sponsoring us, to me it's a big deal because we're not getting those kind of big numbers that some of the other folks out there are getting, but these guys are still supporting us. So it means a lot to me. There's a lot of other people in the industry that are just looking at the numbers and not the content of what's going on out there and the efforts and all that kind of stuff that we're making. And it is what it is, but I appreciate most of all the people who are doing that. Let's go to BabyFace. Right? What do you want to remind the people of?
YouTube.com/babyfaceP.
Show your card. It's
Chrome-
crystal clear right now.
I already got it. Chrome Vanadium
Oh,
Arms.
look, there you go. Clear
Yeah, there
as
you
a
go.
bell. Clear
Yeah.
as a
Yeah, look at
perfect.
that. Look at that. Look at that. I made my own
Damn.
business cards. I think they look great. They are harken back to an older time. Chrome Vanadium Arms, please. If you got things you want built, if you got things you need worked on, I would love to take it on for you. Right now, I'm sitting about 3 weeks. So if you got something you want done, we're 3 weeks out. I can get it turned around for you.
All right, awesome. And Walter, of course, last but not least.
Yes, Safety Harbor
Walter?
Farms.
Yes.
There's safetyharborfarms.com. There's on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and Player. And I'm over on Rumble now too, posting some stuff over there. And there's stent parts for all your stent parts and subgun type stuff.
I think you have a sale going on for Memorial Day, right? Is that true?
Memorial
or-
Day. Yes. That is till the 9th, which is yeah. It'll be the 5th. Oh, excuse me, not Memorial Day, for Normandy for like D-Day. So it'll be the
okay.
5th through the 9th. 5th through the
Okay.
9th, 20% off on the World War II vintage parts and pieces. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So we'll be
Awesome.
posting more about that when it gets closer. Yep.
All right, very good. And so just one more time for Armslist out there, if you guys, are using Armslist, if you run into anything or whatever, let me know. I've said it here before, like we deal with player because we know the folks, we can reach out to them. If you have any problems with Armslist, let me know. I guarantee you that Jonathan has a way that you guys can deal with your issues on the site.
That is one more thing I should plug. We have
Yeah.
actual U.S.-based customer service people in the office.
Hello.
We have one guy that works till about 6 or
Hello.
7 most nights, and you can call, and they can answer you over text or email, and they'll actually get back to you. Which we find when we ask that question, have you had that luck with the other gun websites? Usually we're doing a better job than them. Sometimes the other ones we hear they do zero customer service.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. If you really are in a pinch, you can always hit me up, and I'll try to connect you with Jonathan. Armslist is like a family-owned business. It's not just Jonathan. It's his mom and dad who I've met and hung out with. Those are the guys who, I think, is it your dad? Someone over there actually writes me the check, Jonathan.
I think it's my dad that cuts you the check. Yeah.
Exactly. That's who I need to worry about, not you. You're busy. You're busy out on the beach, with your Bronco or whatever, with no
Hey, you
doors
know what?
on
In
it.
Florida, we can open carry when we're fishing, so I might have to start fishing.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, does that include this?
Yeah, you can
Let's see.
carry anything.
Yes, it does.
Think it actually does. You can swing
Hunting,
a rifle.
fishing, or camping to or from, and while
Wait,
you're actively
camping counts?
participating.
I
Absolutely.
think so, yeah, camping does, yeah.
Am I
Camping
camping
counts,
if I'm
hunting, camping,
sleeping
and
in my Sprinter van?
Yes, sir.
Yes, actually,
Yeah.
that would count. You can
And
open
that's-
carry while you're camping.
But also, your van is considered your home. Remember that.
Yeah. It's
Second home.
domicile. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Florida's
it's my
great,
home,
man.
and I'm camping.
Yes, sir.
So I can have all
But
my
we're-
guns, permitless carry, and have
Yeah,
it in
but
the
we're not lawyers. We're not lawyers. Let me just say
Not a
that.
lawyer.
All right, I'm gonna have to read the letter of the law.
Yeah, we
I
are
said-
not lawyers. Don't sue us. If you get locked up somewhere. But thanks so much to Jonathan.
Go read
Yeah.
the letter of the law, but Florida has a provision that does allow open carry under certain circumstances. Fishing is definitely one of them I've heard of. I've seen videos where the police will go up to a guy and they'll say, "Hey, somebody called. We understand you're fishing. You can do it." Because people get a little antsy. He was a little bit. The one I saw, he was a little bit of an instigator. He's got like an AR in a sling on a pier, in a relatively populated
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. Open carry a bazooka. Go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, we're done. I'll
Okay.
say
All right. Listen. Big thanks to Jonathan of Armslist for coming in, as well as BabyFace P and Walter Keller of Safety Harbor Firearms. BabyFace P of Chrome Bandium Arms. Thanks to you guys for hanging out with us. We will get back into the regular thing here. I think Monday. Don't hold me to it because I think I'm spending all of June on the road. I'm going to be doing some gun stuff and all that. But anyway, appreciate everyone out there. We are out of here. Let me go hit all the buttons I need to hit right now. Jonathan, stand by right there. We are out of here. We'll see you guys. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.
Stream ended.